Good morning, it's 9 a.m. and we are here for consent agenda review. Do you have any items you would like to discuss? Thank you. Got a few walk-ons.
Walk-ons when you're ready to hear about.
Let's hear them.
You have the auditor's office request for the creation of 2 new funds. One is for the solar energy, and the other is for the more bond payments. And then you also have the ordinances and resolutions from the comprehensive plan amendments that you guys approved on December 16th. We just need your signatures on these ones. So I brought them in as a walk-on so you guys can sign them when you sign everything else.
Say that one again.
The development services, ordinances, and a resolution for the comprehensive plan amendments that you approved at the hearing on December 16th.
So we would call them just comp plan amendments from the December 16th, 2025. Is that what we would, when we make a motion? So we need account 212, account 170, and comp plan amendments. I have to write down because I guess we need to talk about the community stakeholders. We held that, Kevin, you were gone, for the 2. Yeah, the health district, yes. Caitlin, do you have the red envelope? Oh, and I think so if we're going to do those applications, so if we're going to do those applications. In my mind I did, so I'm not quite sure. And I do believe the committee, the health district can make a recommendation. I don't know if we put it back to the health board to make a recommendation, or trying to figure out how that process works.
Jeff Dennis Beach, Heather Mason, Jeff Gallacky,
Galacy,
and Melody Johnston.
Well, it is really frustrating because I have talked to Teresa about getting, and then they just approved the same individual.
Yeah, it was nice to see, Dennis Beach and Heather on there, but, and this, well, you got 4 different people, but she still wants Matt Pollock in there.
Is that a different seat?
Heather was going to be the alternate.
Okay, for some reason we have the Sheilas. Healthcare. Yeah, I thought, is this one on the agenda? I thought we already approved this one.
No, you guys approved the alternate for seat 5, but the primary for seat 5 was not included on the original
Okay.
memo, so they sent another one.
Okay, so Sheila.
Tom, did you review item 15?
Yeah, I just feel like we need some stronger definitions.
I had not reviewed that.
I'm okay with the alternate.
I reached out to, like I said, Jared Cox and also Jake Gager. Jake Gager, septic, and Jared Cox is an installer.
Nice when we have some of these septic issues to have somebody.
Oh, yeah.
100%.
So I asked them to go on the website, put in their
Put that out.
application.
Okay.
He was gone.
I'm
His
okay,
cab,
I'm
so.
good with the alternate.
So, straight up question,
Uh-huh.
why'd you second the motion if you don't agree with the applicants?
I wasn't there.
Kevin seconded the motion,
So I seconded it.
but why? I guess the issue I have is like the two of you on that board, get on the selection committee. Cause then this doesn't come to us at
But
this
if we're on the
point.
selection committee, I think we have to recuse ourselves from doing the actual appointment.
Why? If you're making the recommendation, maybe if you fully disagree, but then if you disagree, you're gonna disagree here and we're gonna do this, so. It would just make more sense to take care of it before it comes here. It'd save a lot of time.
Yeah, I mean, I don't have a problem with the people that are on there. I think what we're trying to do is get somebody else on there.
No, I agree. I mean, you've got,
So that's all we're.
you have a person you have supporters of what they're doing, both of them, Heather and Matt. They support them. Obviously,
Yeah.
they're gonna select them. I mean, it's a
Oh.
no-brainer to me.
So you think, I mean, Heather, you're talking about Heather Mason.
I'm talking about Matt, Heather, both of them, right? If I was Teresa, I would want them also. Because, vulnerability is power in government, and that's how I get my way, right? And that it is what it is. But I'm just saying, like, if you don't like the selection, don't be involved in the motion. Just vote nay. I don't know why.
Yeah, like I say, I don't have a problem with either one of them. But I didn't know Heather was friend or acquaintance, or you feel like she would vote.
Is Heather a friend or acquaintance?
I don't know if that's the way to put it. But you're looking for, if we're
I'm
gonna talk
talking
about
about
Heather
something-
Mason versus Jake Yeager, we're talking two different people.
No, and the
Both
thing is,
personal
I've been
business.
very vocal with Teresa and with the health district that we need to get somebody with some.
I
depth
know
on
for
this
like 4 years.
So we're coming and Teresa's like, they're not up yet. So I wanted to put them in the community, not the community stakeholder, a user of public health. She's like, that's not
No,
gonna
it's a
work.
stakeholder
So
position.
wait until they come due. So waiting until they come due, and I was not at the meeting to vote, but I have been very clear on this.
I was
And
just,
I kind of feel like the health district kind of gets going down a road
well, they're already down the road,
and
right? Like
it's,
they are, health
this,
districts are like operating not as public health. They're operating
Well,
as many other things.
and I feel like there's some areas that we need coverage for. And this would be more of a county representation because the cities don't really deal that much with the septic problems. And we've had some pretty big septic issues this last year that,
But has anyone applied?
No,
Yes.
that's the-
we have that Jeff Galacy, we have others that are interested. But when you ask if others applied, yeah.
I mean, I've replaced 5 septics this year. I'm not a expert. Whoever put them in the ground, but they're not gonna apply. They don't have time to do that.
Well, that's what Jake asked me, well, what all is involved? Jared the same way, I mean.
Not a lot's involved, but the first time they sit through some BS they don't want anything to do with, they're not gonna go to the next one. I think that's the main issue. You gotta get the community involvement. But
Right, but it doesn't do anybody any good to have somebody on there that's not gonna show up.
no,
So I mean, I think from here, they need to be more involved and maybe come to the meetings, open public meeting, correct?
Well, those that are,
Open health board meetings or public
well,
meetings.
but like like the situation down in Mattawa that went on for months, the raw sewage, that's just something that can't happen. That,
But what would a board member have done about that?
if they were in the sewer world, they would have said, hey, you need to,
I thought that they did all of that.
in
The health
August,
district
July or August.
Delivered,
Yeah,
fix
it
it.
took them what?
They have
5
no
months?
power.
So how do we fix that? I mean, how do we?
Well, I
make
think
it
that
so-
we
Yeah, that's
decided
what I mean,
after our
it's like-
meeting, they can work with
You know,
our,
it's like, if I have issue at Department of Health, I mean, honestly, my first response is gonna be, you know, very negative, very get out of here. Just like either of you probably would, right? Like, you don't really like them all up in your business, I don't. But
well, no,
they don't really have any power. If I tell them to get out of here, all they can do is serve me a letter.
They can have the water shut off, that's to that home. If it's less than
If it's
100,
not a private,
if it's less than
system.
100 degrees.
yeah, I just look at it, it's tough. Like, I don't disagree with you. I think it'd be great to have like one of those types of guys on there. But
Well, and, you know, and Jake called me when he was having issues and it got taken care of. So it's just, they just need to know that they can come to us if there's an issue.
Yeah.
You know, that situation in Mattawa, that should really never happen. Do they not have legal?
They do.
Legal side that can.
But I think, yeah, I'm not sure why it took so long for something to happen, but I just think there needs to be more depth, and be nice to have a representative, well, like, if whoever you contacted, Galacey, he is from South Grant County. You have some of the.
which one is he? I know him, but I can't put a
He's
face
actually
on
been
it.
here for.
Is he Jones?
Jones, he does some stuff for permitting, he was here for the, Royal Organics for a permit for
I think it is him.
Royal Organics, and then he's working with something with a port, I don't know if it's a port septic, I mean, he's not an installer, but he works in that, that arena, and he's very involved. He
Yeah.
would show up to the meetings, he's a community advocate.
Yeah, there's another one on there that probably would be really a lot of experience, but I don't know if I would be
But
in support or not.
we could probably select two. Again,
Well, and I think if we have another situation like,
I think you just send it back to them then, but it's gonna go to the chair and the vice chair of the
I don't know if
board.
we need to send it back, or if let me look for the RCW.
I think you send it
Because
back.
sometimes we've kind of slacked and let our boards choose their own seatmates.
Yeah, and I don't wanna do that, I'll stay right there with you on
I
that,
don't think
but
that's the intent of what the boards are. You can't pick your friend and the easy votes. I can't get my computer.
I had emailed Teresa because of that question I'm asking of like, if we don't want that recommendation, then why don't, like I just asked, you know, how do we not have it go this long? And she did put that, one could be on the interview committee, which would
Well,
sure make it quicker. Cause then you would have like a, you know, like let's say there was something weird going on, or it's just like, oh, this person's always gonna agree with us, always gonna vote with us, which is pretty awesome. I want somebody like that. But then at least you would know in the interview, like, nope, Lacey was the best, Beach was the best, so-and-so was the best. And you could just
yeah,
get better information.
But I am
it
thinking
is.
they can make a recommendation, but let me find the RCW, but just because it's not like LDAC where we have to kick it back if we don't agree with them. I believe they make a recommendation, we take that in stride, and then
we can
they are
bring
actually
whatever
our
we want.
district. But let me look at the RCW.
You have a meeting today?
Me? Oh. Not that I know of. Is it
Oh,
still
she
gonna
was
be?
just saying she could be online today to discuss this or something.
Hey, why do I get all these Google Chrome pop-ups that just started popping up?
I'm sure.
Okay.
Could be a browser extension that you have installed on there by accident.
Yeah, it says, resolution appears to allow BOCC to either appoint the recommended candidate or return the recommendation to the Board of Health for future consideration. It does not appear to provide for BOCC to independently review applications and make separate appointment outside of the process.
Is that the RCW that you're reading?
I think it's out of their,
Where did you find that at?
she emailed it to
Okay.
me. Because I was just asking, like, she asked about holding it. And she sent the applications. And then I asked if there was a way, I said there's 2 commissioners on the board. I'm not sure why the discussion waits until our consent agenda, basically. What's the process, like beginning to end? Because I don't know it. And then she basically sent how it works.
Okay. See, I always thought if you were in the selection process, you could not vote as a
But
commissioner.
if you,
It's
I
a
could see
conflict.
the conflict if it was like you brought someone, they signed up because of you, they interviewed terribly, everyone was against them but you, and then we voted for them based on what you said.
'Cause I thought you had to recuse yourself if you already voted earlier.
You just not vote, sit in.
Okay.
So, out of all these people that are on here for the recommendations, you got this community stakeholder, Matt Pollock, and Heather Mason. Are you saying you don't necessarily care for Matt Pollock to be on there again, or?
Me? Yeah, I just feel like with my conversation with Teresa, that this is the only position that a septic, somebody that would have information on the septic or deals with. I feel like we're really heavy on the medical side and the community outreach, that side. I feel like our board needs more depth.
So that
Yeah.
community stakeholder should be one of our septic guys.
I feel like, that's how I would like to go about it. And I've been pretty vocal. But I did not go to the meeting last month.
Yeah, the only problem is you gotta find somebody that's willing to do it. That's,
Well, I think we have applicants that they've glazed over and bypassed. And I have nothing against Matt. Matt is engaged, he asks a lot of questions, I just feel like what I want represented, this is the only seat that represents the septic. And it's a big part of their budget, whether they want to acknowledge it or not. Okay, so I'm not reading selection. There's no RCW tied to that.
For the districts, district boards of health membership, there's RCW 70.46.031.
Just 70.46.
.031.
Shoot, Mike, just a minute.
I'll just make sure that
40.06.
Something, guys, or
Sorry, 70.46.031.
just hold it, but you don't want to hold it for too long.
7.06.31.
Well, you kind of got to make a decision or have somebody else today.
well, that's just it, and
Well, we have to send it back. It sounds like we have to send it back. Oh, I have 701.
Then will those seats fill those seats in January? Because I'm guessing this term ends on the 31st.
Right.
RCW just dictates who should be on the board.
70.06.31.
70.46.31, yes. But then it just tells you who should be on the board, and it's saying like, that a resolution or ordinance adopted under this section must specify the provisions for the appointment term, compensation, or reimbursement of expenses. So it kind of bounces back to the resolution that you guys have, which Teresa Atkinson has also sent over a resolution with an updated appendix for the Board of Health members and the appointment process. And that was also something that was needing to be discussed by the board.
Is the appendix an RCW or is the appendix something that Health District?
No, it's just an attachment to the resolution. Non-elected board, the process for selecting non-elected officials for Grant County Board of Health seats 5 through 7. And I believe that this is a new attachment, I think, unless.
Where did they, because it says the board members selected under this subsection must be approved by a majority vote of the Board of County Commissioners. I am not seeing anything that it has to go through the subcommittee.
In the RCW, no. The RCW it has that one, I can't find it. There's a section in the RCW that says that the processes for appointments, it's G, section G. Except as provided in A and E of this subsection, a resolution or ordinance adopted under this section must specify the provisions for the appointment, term, compensation, or reimbursement of expenses. And so then it just pushes it back to whatever resolution you guys have regarding the Board of Health.
Okay, so the resolution that the Health District's resolution, or is it ours or the Health District's?
It is your guys' resolution that you have
Okay,
for the Board of Health.
but there's a new appendix to it.
They are asking, Teresa Atkinson is asking for updates to the resolution. And I'm trying to figure out if this attachment
Appendix
is something new that she wants to add, or if it's something that was there that I just don't remember.
Okay, so it's something on their own, because I'm looking at the RCW.
And Teresa sent this on December 5th. I can re-forward it. She sent it directly to you three, the proposed updates.
approve the seats other than the community
From
stakeholders.
5.
Yeah, you could.
We still have
do
enough
that.
board members, we
Seat
can
5.
continue having meetings with. Wait another week. But it's up to you two.
I would be okay with that,
With which one?
if we were to hold the open seat for the community stakeholder.
Okay.
What's going on?
How are you? Good, how are you?
Good.
How you doing, Phil?
Good, how are you? Somebody sitting here?
When did she send this? 12/5.
Is this Mandy's file?
I think so.
Yeah, I'm okay with that.
Josh said that you had a meeting at 9:30 with him up at
We
the
can
Phil.
approve the others,
Yes.
we'll just hold
Going
We've already
the
approved.
community stakeholder.
Looks like, so we had done a walkthrough a number
Oh,
of
we have
months ago in a certain area.
I think all the others.
And we added data and power to a room.
Just
So
that
it
one.
looks like they only added that.
Yeah.
So I gotta find out.
This one position.
Find out if it's where I'm thinking it was or if it's somewhere different that I just missed. Or-
Yeah, 'cause
It's
she
in
was-
that room where major crimes is gonna go,
Research, because I think this appendix got
He'll show
recently added.
So, yeah.
upstairs on the
It's
north
been
side.
there- it's At least been in there since 2022,
Yeah, we had some
but
stuff added to the walls
Okay.
for it.
That
then
they select the
He said you
members.
guys are gonna talk about the
no, this, I mean.
gravel behind, yeah.
So, yeah,
I
so
gotta
it's
get a
like
hard
that whole
cost. I gotta
process,
figure
but it
out
does
what
say
that's gonna cost, how much it's gonna take. You
in the
said that there's
appendix
things already
that-
sinking back
Can
there?
you send it to me?
Just them driving back there,
Yes,
it's
I
already
don't have
sunk
the
down.
2022 version,
Joey and
I
I
have
went and
this-
looked at it
this newest
2-3
one. I'm
weeks
not
ago
sure
when
what
Josh
updates
first brought it
she
up,
has made.
and it's
So I'll
sunk
send
down
you
so
this
bad. Of
newest
course, it
one,
was
so
warm
if
then.
you're-
Wait, is that
Um,
on?
But I know last year
12.5?
when we first
Yeah.
started in the spring,
But when.
I
when
got
this
our brand new
resolution was
F-150 almost stuck
updated
in four-wheel drive.
2022,
Yeah, it's saying so,
the
and that
appendix was not
temporary road they had
attached
going,
to it.
Mhm.
people were
So
sinking 2 feet.
And we're gonna
I'm
have
not sure what
big-
changes
big
she made
buses
between
and
then
stuff.
now.
that have to make that turn right
Oh,
there,
here
so.
it is.
Yeah, we'd only had that truck for like 3 days. I was like, let's test this thing out now.
Mhm.
Okay, well, I found the 2022.
So extending the term from 2 years to 3 years. So in the current term. That's to reduce recruitment costs. Limit city appointed seats to council members from cities that financially contribute to the health district.
I would just approve that here. What, if I remember right.
Tom, can you find out if on the 15, if passenger cars are replaced 100,000 or 10 years, but they're billed on a 5-year operation cost. So if a car gets 40,000 miles over, 8 years, let's say, or 10, are they gonna pay 10 years of operation costs calculated at the 5-year replacement?
We'll find out.
Or do they cut it off at 5 years and the car just kept?
All right, let me give them a call and then I'll get back to you.
It's on the last page of that.
Yeah, I saw them. I will get back to you. I have a meeting up at the jail at 9:30,
Okay.
just because that.
Anything else for consent review?
Nope.
All right, we'll go into recess until 9:30. Good morning, it's 9:30 a.m. and we are here for a sheriff's office update. Welcome.
Morning, guys, and Cindy when she gets here. I think the sheriff's online. I think he wants, there he is. He wants
Good
to
morning.
address you guys first.
Do you want to wait for Cindy?
Probably.
Okay. How was everybody's Christmas?
Santa forgot about me,
I don't believe that for a second, Rob.
Not believe that either.
brought me scraps, coal.
I got fruit snacks in my drawer for you if you
You
want.
got what?
I got some fruit snacks in my drawer for you if you like. Come over anytime.
No fruit snacks?
No, thank you.
Snickers.
Caitlin's got a bunch of fruit snacks.
There's a lot of snacks.
She's got the good trail mix.
Oh, Caitlin, I didn't get my high five, Caitlin. So this is all you get. You just you get the hand raise. That's what that is.
Yeah, I thought we were the only high fivers. Did I see you give one to Tom as he's leaving?
Yeah, Tom was actually the first high fiver.
False alarm. She don't.
a fastball?
That's a curvy.
Oh, is that a curveball?
Yeah. She wouldn't do much from my left hand though. Probably hit Caitlin.
Were you a softball? Were you a softball player?
Why would you know that? How would you know that? For a little bit.
It's
I
children.
think that you told me.
Did I?
Yeah.
No, I try not to tell people that.
Oh, and you're a runner.
Did you go to Ephrata? Ephrata track then? Fun.
Track and cross country.
So you ran on purpose.
Yes.
Why?
I did. It was great. It's
Were
good.
were you always out front?
No.
So people weren't chasing you is the reason why you were running?
Right. I was just middle of the pack. I was trying to stay with everybody else.
Running for fun. Cindy's here now, Joe.
Okay, hi Cindy.
Morning. Somebody was lost at the courthouse. Where I took him to the elevator earlier today. I'm like, oh, it's a maze.
So today, I know that budget's obviously a hot topic right now as we get into this week here, and Gary and Ricardo and Phil may have some stuff to add to this as I go through this, but I just want to talk about stuff. I got several things on my bullets here to talk about, so hopefully I can get through everything. I know usually my meetings are pretty short, but this one might be just a little bit longer. But anyway, I want to begin talking about budget responsibility and the seriousness with which I manage the sheriff's office budget and the jail budgets. You know, over the past 3 years of sheriff, I've been pretty intentional about operating within the budgets provided by the board while still delivering public safety and services to the citizens of Grant County. And the board has been very generous to me in the past, for sure. So this by in no means is any complaint about anything the board has done for the sheriff's office, because I've been very appreciative over the last 3 years of the budgets that I've had. I don't believe I've made any outlandish request. Every budget decision been made with the best interest of the public in mind. There's no higher liability risk in county government than public safety. I think we can all agree with that. I'm trying to do my part to mitigate that. In the good words of wisdom by Mr. Gordon Graham, if it's predictable, it's probably preventable. Just some budget performance things I want to just kind of point out. In 2023, which was not my budget requested, I was under budget by $269,000. We spent 98% of the allocated budget. In 2023, on the jail side, we were under $132,000 plus and spent 98.32 of that budget. Again, this wasn't a budget that I requested, but we still finished the year responsibly and under the budget. So the first budget that I did request in 2024, the sheriff's office side was under over $1 million under budget, spent 93.17 of the allocated budget. And in the jail side, we were under $1.1 million, spending 87% of that budget. You know, these numbers reflected deliberate fiscal management, not service reductions. In 2025, just as of the end of November, that's the only numbers that I had on the expense side. Right now on the sheriff's side, we are currently about 0.6% over budget, which is about $100,632.66. That's just for November. I fully anticipate making that up in December. I believe we made up about 5% in November. I completely expect that 0.6% to be made up in December, which should put us under budget again on the sheriff's side. The jail side, we're under 17.77%, which is about $1.8 million under budget. I expect that obviously to be even a little bit lower coming into the end of December. As far as the total taxpayer savings in our budgets across the completed budget years, this represents over $2.5 million of savings returned to the county through responsible budget management. I just want to share these figures to show the responsibility and seriousness I bring to managing public funds. I've consistently operated within the budgets provided while meeting operational demands. As we move into 2026, I remain very, very mindful of the very difficult job that the commissioners have in this budget season. I understand it's been very difficult, very frustrating, and please know I'm very mindful of that. For 2026, I've went through and did the reductions by cutting line items, created additional revenue projections of what that was requested, and we were able to find by working together with Phil and Gary for some additional revenues that I think are even still low, but I don't want to estimate high. and the effect that we may possibly not meet that goal. But I think we're in a good place as far as that revenue goes. But I did that intentionally. I was fine with going a little bit less or a little bit more than the 2% that was requested us to cut because I want to be a good partner. I want to make sure that we're serving all together Grant County the best that we all can. But everything I requested in the 26 budget is not wanted but needed to provide effective public safety. Two critical needs. There's the staffing and 24/7 medical care. The 24/7 medical care, this is a necessity, not a luxury. Our jail has the highest populations of individuals that are ill in the entire county. Not a hospital in Grant County has more sick individuals than our jail does. Just over the past 45 days, we've had an inmate found hanging in a housing unit, transport for a gallbladder treatment, later surgery for an inmate, transported an inmate for a stab wound, later to be discovered they also had a brain bleed, multiple overdoses, including one inmate given Narcan 4 times, which saved his life, thank goodness, cleared from the hospital and returned back to the jail. Not a few days later, we had another inmate overdose again, Narcan 4 times, transported by ambulance, then returned back to the jail. We're also averaging 2 ITAs or involuntary treatments out of the jail per week. These incidents are happening consistently with a population of running between 115 and 130 right now. With the rising opiate use in Grant County, overdose risk will increase and have increased. I believe we were at 33 in 2024. And I think Gary, did we hit 40 yet in 2025?
I don't think so yet. Not yet, Joe.
So we're probably, I believe, at about 38 then is where we should be, if I remember right. So that is still increasing. And of course, that shows the opiate use in Grant County is increasing, which overdose risks will continue to increase in our jail population, especially when it grows to 300 to 350 inmates. This will increase substantially. Over 80% of our inmate population requires medical care due to the injury or the illnesses that they bring with them when they become incarcerated. Our current medical staff cannot adequately meet the current needs, let alone when the population triples. And I understand 24/7 medical care is extremely expensive. I get that, but it's necessary to reduce risk, liability, and loss of life. The contracted medical care liability and taxpayer protection that it does bring is I want to talk about the liability and protecting the taxpayers of Grant County because that responsibility ultimately falls on all of us. In Washington State, there have been multiple jail medical litigation cases resulting in verdicts and settlements in the tens of millions of dollars. In several cases, when private contracted medical providers were responsible for inmate care, the majority of the liability on financial judgment fell on the medical provider, not the county. This is exactly why contracted medical services with proper insurance coverage are so critical. Washington State examples, I think we've talked about a few of these already, but in Pierce County, a jail medical case resulted in a $25 million jury verdict with a private medical provider carrying the bulk of the liability, while the county paid a comparatively small amount. Spokane County, that jail that they had, which is about a 26 million ish, 24 to $26 million damages awarded. 90% of the payout on that was through the medical provider and the small portion that Spokane County picked up. But these cases show when medical care is contracted and insured properly, the financial exposure shifts primarily to the entity responsible for providing that care and not the county. But why this does matter to Grant County, I kind of use this comparison. We don't accept driving a vehicle without insurance. I mean, we don't plan on getting into a crash every day, but for some reason we all have insurance in our vehicles. And we don't accept business operations without liability coverage. So the question becomes, why would we house inmates with serious and often complex medical needs without adequate medical providers who carry the majority of the liability for that care? Knowing over 80% of our inmate population requires that medical care, often for conditions that existed before they were even booked or arrested, but we do carry that liability. With rising opiate use and jail population expected to nearly triple when this new facility is up and running in a matter of time, the risk of medical emergencies, overdoses, and in custody deaths will only increase. The fiscal reality is one single medical litigation case, just one, can pay for more than several years of the contracted 24/7 medical services that we'd be requesting. Without contracted insured medical providers, that liability shifts directly onto the Grant County taxpayers. Contracted medical care is not about just healthcare decision, but it's a risk management and fiscal protection decision. The bottom line is the request is about protecting lives, reducing liability, protecting county finances, and ensuring the new jail opens safely and responsibly. Providing that 24/7 medical care is one of the most effective ways we can mitigate that risk, protect our taxpayers, and meet our constitutional obligations. Moving on to the staffing of the new facility, to minimally staff the new jail when it opens, we will need no less than 4 correction staff and 3 support staff. We took some serious time determining this. We made a unanimous decision by our correctional leadership team, myself, all the other chief deputies in a room we sat in there, which was well over 100 years of experience in jail management. While I respect the architect's expertise as a designer, he's right. He did design a facility that can operate with less staff than typically would be projected on a facility that size. But one thing he does not do is manage jails. He does design them, but he does not manage them. We've carefully reviewed work posts and staffing needs multiple times. And if we cannot open both housing pods, I will not accept outside housing contracts. I won't do it. The housing contracts, and I think the public expectation, I'll cover that just a little bit. The jail has the potential to generate $2+ million annually through housing contracts. One thing I won't do is I won't displace Grant County inmates to make that happen. Our citizens made it clear they want this jail to house local criminals. And, we have over 8,000 warrants that need to be served, numerous misdemeanor and felony cases that we still currently are not booking need to be arrested, and they need to be incarcerated on those cases. We cannot house local criminals and contract inmates without both of those pods being open. So just some funding considerations, and I know that you've all crossed this bridge. I get it 100%. I really do. And what I'm going to say is you're going to say, yes, we've already thought about this and we've already talked about it. But, our 117 account currently has over $15 million in it. Average monthly revenue, this in 2025 has been over $613,000 a month, which on average, revenue over the 10 months, because that's all it's reported in the STAR account that I saw, was over $6 million. Based on that average, when December comes through, we should be on that average recorded in the STAR report about 7.3 million in 2025. Again, I know that's something you already know. I totally understand that. I get it. And I totally understand. And I also support the remodeling of the current Law and Justice building. 100% agree with that. I also support the construction of the new morgue. I understand that we've got the payment of the $5 million coming out for the bond. I understand that. However, when we do vacate the current facility, I don't believe the remodeling is going to be taking effect immediately after we vacate. So keeping that in mind, with population growth, more goods being purchased in Grant County, the cost of the goods increasing, making tax revenues higher in the future. Grant County's has seen an 18.75 growth since 2010. That's pretty substantial. From 2010 to 2022, I think it's like 13.5, but currently it's running to 18.75. That's according to the World Population View. So I guess in that, I'm asking the board to consider, or maybe reconsider, allocating some additional funding from the 117 account to help supplement the needs of the new jail to get it open. Just in closing, as far as some risk management and stuff, I believe the citizens of Grant County, they expect a jail that opens fully and completely, not partially. They also want it to open safely. I know that our staff and the board also want it to open safely, and is staffed to medically equipped to both handle physical and mental health issues that we have in the county. The increased staffing in 24/7 medical care is about life safety, liability mitigation, and responsible jail operations. And of course, my goal always remains to be fiscally responsible, always be a good partner, and provide the best public safety services that we can in Grant County as a team. Again, I know this budget season has been very, very difficult. We've felt the pain probably along with every other elected office and department head in the county. Those are just kind of some things I wanted to mention to think about and go to bat for a budget. I mean, I've got to fight for a budget. I think the board understands that. And again, like I said, I'm definitely going to be a good partner and do what I can for the board to make sure that budget gets adopted. And I don't know if any other my staff or my team has anything to add to that, but those are kind of my bullet points I wanted to talk to the board about this morning, going into another budget meeting this afternoon. So,
Thank you.
Joe, it's
yes,
important
sir.
that the morgue is not paid from 117 at all. So that's just something good to know.
Okay.
Saying, there is going to be a 4 to 5 year period where that tax revenue is a deficit and is paid out of current expense or other funds to make the payment on the additional bonded fund. So,
Are we in that time right now, Rob?
no, it starts next year, I believe.
And do we know what that deficit will be, or
It's
what
gonna
the?
be $1 billion.
I'm sorry, you said is that with a B?
$1 billion a year.
Is that with a B or an M? Sorry.
An M.
Okay, so 1 million.
In deficit though.
Okay, gotcha.
Not
So
that.
Mm-hmm.
they expect that over $8 million coming out of that account to go out.
Next year in 2026, we will have 866 million.
Not
that
close enough to
will-
$1 million for you.
The bond will not be paying for that, so that has to come out
Close
of
enough.
somewhere.
You said 8.66 million, Cindy? I'm sorry.
886,000.
886,000. Okay.
That's
Gotcha.
calculated off the anticipated growth ratio, is that correct? Kind of what the
That's
revenues
most recent one
estimated?
we have. But just something to consider when thinking about pulling, that medical is a couple million a year.
Right.
We had a deficit of 880,000. Now you're at 4 million. Just things that we're looking at that maybe you don't know about.
Sure. No, you're absolutely right. There's a lot of things that I don't know about. That's why I have to ask the questions that I have. But and you're exactly right, Rob. I understand that. Another question I have to the board, because I don't know the answer to this. So, for instance, in the budget years that we had, the three when we were in surplus of roughly $2.5 million that we've been under budget for those 3 years. Does that surplus of funds does that roll over to fall back into the surplus funds for the county? Is that what happens with that?
Yes, basically, it gives us the ability to, the following year, to go over, basically, we're over our revenue. And this year because we're pulling from other funds,
Mm-hmm.
we are 3.6 million that we're taking out of reserve or out of this fund. But we also snagged 1.5 million out of our employee growth account, which that's our employee growth right there. And this is not even adding COLAs into here. We took 3 million out of our TS budget. So the new computers that are supposed to be updated, I mean, we're pulling it. So when we're looking at that 3.6 million, we're literally probably taking 6 or 7 or 8 million out of a reserve of some that we're spending beyond the revenue coming in. So for me, it's really hard to, add something new. I get the importance of it. And we could take it out of the 117 account, but that 117 account is also kind of earmarked to make payments when we have a shortfall because we don't have the revenue. If we start pulling and depleting all of these funds, and we haven't even accounted for the new insurance. I thought that new insurance increase was a jail that was coming in 2026. We haven't even added the new insurance for the jail. So there's a lot of unknowns that we have that I'm reluctant to deplete an account. If we can maybe look to see where our budget kind of shakes out. And I mean, we definitely, we didn't go to the employees and ask for layoffs. We're trying to find revenue elsewhere to make this happen. So it is a unique position. We're borrowing a lot of money and pulling it elsewhere to subsidize basically this budget and hoping that everybody doesn't spend what is in their budget for this year.
Have there been other offices and department heads that have, at this point, are they projected to be under budget as well, or are there more that are over budget coming in at the end of this year? And no names. You don't have to. I'm not asking for department names or anything. Just kind of a yes or no.
Yeah.
Yeah, most are under.
Oh, good. Okay, good.
And that is what has been allowed us, I guess, to pull from reserve. If everybody was right at their budget each year, we would be saying, no, cut, until we get to the budget. But because every year we are technically under budget a little bit, we've been able to kind of roll over that reserve.
Sure.
That savings.
And just one last thing that I'll say is that on the budget is, the one thing that I think our community wants and understands is the top of their priority has always seemed to have been public safety. There's no other department or office within Grant County that carries more liability than the public safety side of things does. And I get that it's expensive. I really do. But I think in a situation we come down to with this medical provider being that is huge. It really is. And I think that if that's something that we don't find a way to make that happen is really going to be shooting us in the foot as far as the county goes. We have just in the last 45 days, we've dodged some serious bullets to having some substantial issues in that jail happen medically. And I thank goodness that my staff was on top of it, especially those 2 overdoses. Thank goodness. Because we've crossed that bridge before and I don't want to cross it again. I really don't. And the risk is going to triple when we get into the new facility. It's at least going to double if we only open 1 pod. And so I guess what I would ask is kind of weigh what we're willing to risk when it comes to that cost. And like I said, I do know it is expensive, but I think in the long run, it's more of an investment than anything, especially when it comes to the mitigation of the cost and litigation in the future for it.
I think on that side, Joe, for me, I 100% agree. But as Cindy said, 27, I think we're gonna be looking at an $8 million beginning fund balance that we have to take in order to be at the same place we are today. So if you threw 2 million on that, then we're at a 10 million, which then drops us to $10 million beginning fund balance in 28, which is about a month and a half of county expense, which is way under where we would ever want to be. But could we do a quick? No, we can't do that. Oh, just a potential litigation. We could do an evaluation. Let's have a quick executive session.
Oh, yeah, as long as it's not.
It'd be
anything that
personnel.
involves
It'd be personnel.
Yeah, we could.
Are you guys good with that?
Yeah.
We'll have you leave. We'll probably go just 5 minutes, come out at 59. So we're going to go into executive session for evaluation RCW 42.30.1101G. Yeah, you're staying. 9:55 to, we'll go to 10 a.m. We are out of executive session. No decisions have been made.
So you hear me reference the Healthcare Authority grant quite often in here, reviewing what it meant for the cohort 2. I didn't have the exact numbers from Donna. She just came back today after Christmas break, but I wasn't quite sure exactly how much money we've been able to generate so far, but it looks like whenever we start getting, we have a readiness assessment that's part of cohort 3 that we're in the process of getting it approved. Once that approval process takes place before March 1st, we could potentially get upwards of another $500,000. Then once we go live, we can get upwards around an additional $500,000. And then there's smaller payments afterwards of about $100,000 once we show compliance and everything else. So for 2026, we could potentially have another additional revenue of $100 or $1 million. So then we can work with Mandy to try to get that into our spreadsheet, if that helps anything or.
Well, I think the biggest concern is there's a lot of unknown. I mean, this jail, we don't know what it's gonna cost to run it. We don't know if there's gonna be additional funding available, additional grants available. It's gonna be a learning process.
No, it is. You know, and it's good, you know, we met with McIntyre, Merchant McIntyre, yep. So they're looking for earmarked funds, you know, just as well as we are. So, you know, we're hopeful.
I would think they would be able to find more grant funding than us,
So, yeah.
so.
Well, I don't want to take any more of HR's time. I know they're scheduled next and we're at our limit, but I just really do want the board to know how much I sincerely do appreciate the partnership that we have. And I do understand the most difficult position that you are in. I definitely get it. I really truly do. But I just want to express my thank you again to the board for definitely the last 3 years that I've had as sheriff and into the future. So I understand your position. So thank you.
Thank you. And it's not 100% off the table. We just need to figure out what the budget is looking like in another month or two. And
Yep, understandable for sure.
All right, thank you guys for coming. We'll take a 2-minute recess and begin HR at 10:05. Good morning, it is 10:05 a.m. and we are here for our human resources update. We will open for public comment related to today's human resources agenda. Does anyone in the audience have any comment for HR? No. Caitlin, will you check if online users have any comments for HR agenda?
Emily and Gary have said that they do not have comment. We have Alice and we have 2 iPhone guests. I've given you the ability to unmute if you have any public comment for human resources related topics.
All right, hearing none and seeing no hands up, we will move on.
Good morning, Commissioners. Decorah is joining us online. She originally had the day off, but was asked to join today. So she's joining us online. The first item that we have is signature for Rob. This is a Public Works settlement that was reached with Public Works employee. All signatures have been collected, and we just need, as the chair.
I see those other papers.
Okay. The second item that we have on the agenda is requesting a closed session for about 10 minutes to discuss labor relations, bargaining.
Okay, can I see the front pages of that thing I just signed?
This page? Yep.
Okay, so we're going to go in. Is this ongoing or?
Ongoing bargaining?
Yeah, ongoing contract or just posted on negotiations, 10 minutes?
Yes.
Who do you want allowed in this session?
Decorah, please?
Just Decorah?
Yes.
All right, so sheriffs, we're gonna cut you guys. Thank you for coming.
Thank you all.
Decorah, you guys have a good day.
Happy New Year. Be safe out there.
Happy New Year. Cheers.
All right, we'll be going into executive session beginning at 10:07, coming out at 10:17 for negotiations, RCW 42.30.1404A. We're going to extend executive session for 10 more minutes to 10:28 a.m.
So it is the
We
sheriff.
will be extending executive session until 10:40. All right, we are out of executive session.
Okay, the only other item on the HR agenda is a personnel action request of par for a central services facilities and maintenance employee whose probationary period was missed due to an oversight. Payroll was notified and it will be calculated retroactive. That's the one with our
I'm gonna
signatures.
start with Rob, our chair.
There are questions.
Thanks.
No. Are there any items from the board today for HR?
I don't think I have any.
Cora, thanks for joining us on your vacation.
Oh, you're very welcome.
When you get back to your vacation.
Anything else?
I think that's it.
Nothing? Nothing for the board? Sheriff's anything? Nothing?
Nothing.
All right, we will recess until 11 a.m. when we are back with weekly consent agenda meeting. Good afternoon, it is 11, our morning, 11:01 a.m. and we are here for our weekly commissioners meeting. I'll now call the meeting to order and begin with an open forum for public input, 3 minutes per person, 15-minute time limit. Do we have any members in the audience with public comment today?
I'm just here for the agenda item regarding Board of Health.
Okay. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 members online. Would you open it up, see if anybody has any public comment today?
Emily and Carrie said they do not have public comment, so I have Allison's iPhone, Andy Booth, Gina Saldana, and an iPhone guest. I've given you the ability to unmute if you have any public comment.
All right, hearing none, I'll entertain a motion to approve the agenda.
So moved.
I'll second that.
Motion and a second. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye. Aye. Motion is approved for agenda. Do we have any correspondence, emails, letters of support that need our attention or response?
I don't have any.
I don't have any.
Okay, well then, moving right along to roundtable. I do have one roundtable item. Andy, are you able to unmute yourself? You are unmuted, but I do not hear you. No dice.
He's unmuted, so he can unmute.
No, he is unmuted.
Okay.
He has no sound coming to us. I don't know if his computer's muted
Did
or.
we turn ours down
microphone.
at the last? Oh, there he is.
Can you hear us now?
Yep. Okay, I just had a question on your ER&R policy procedure update. In the policy, it said that it's broken out into a 5-year repayment basically, but then the replacements are 10-year, 100,000. I was just curious at the end of the 5-year, if a vehicle's not at 100,000, if it is removed from the ER&R cost, or if it continues.
I think that would be up to the individual owner at that point.
Okay. Would there be a reduced amount for maintenance fuel, or would it still stay at like a new vehicle price?
No, I think it would be reduced to
Okay.
cover maintenance costs, the continued depreciation, things like that.
Okay, that was my only question for you. Thank you.
Thank you.
I know it's kind of our roundtable, but since Teresa from the Health District is here, can I ask her about Teresa?
Yes,
Thank you for showing up the last couple of weeks. It feels like it's been
It's
going back
good.
and forth. It's our item number 10 and 11. And the community stakeholder, I know we've had some discussion about somebody that kind of deals in the septic world, has experience kind of in that arena, because we do not currently have anybody on the board. So to do an appointment, we can't change the appointment. We need to, if we're not happy with it, we send it back to the health district.
Yeah, so as far as process goes, the way I understand it, we have a couple checks and balances because this is in state statute that we follow our process. So our Board of Health makes a recommendation to the Board of County Commissioners, and you guys have the ultimate authority on who you're going to appoint. So yes, it would then, if you were to decline either of the two positions, then you would send it back to them, probably with some direction, which I've kind of played that for you guys. You know, hey, the commissioners are really looking for somebody. I had shared with the regulated community. I shared about, you know, septic specifically as well.
I don't know. Oh, sorry, okay.
And I think part of the challenge is, you know, Matt is a current board member, and so the board appreciates his engagement. You two sit on there. He's
Yes.
quite involved. So they wanted to honor that. So you would be telling them that you would like somebody different. And then we have to work amongst the applications that, you know, we do have, which I did share with you last week. I think moving forward, my recommendation would be, I know you guys have always stepped back from sitting in on the interview committee, but if you really do have strong opinions about a direction, you should be a part of that. And the only caution I'd say is the septic community is one sector of a very big seat, and we have to be careful we're not just hand picking an individual, that everybody has been taken into consideration.
Yes, and I was under the understanding that if I'm on that committee, then I'm not able to vote in the final vote because it's, I mean, I've been involved in another process, and so that's kind of when.
And I think you guys chose, like you and Danny had said, hey, you know what, we're gonna step back from this and let the Board of Health, because we're ultimately deciding. But there's nothing in statute that says the commissioners can't sit on the interview committee, and how we wrote the resolution doesn't say that.
Okay, and I'm wondering if, because I know when we've been involved, like for other appointments, if we participate, then we're not fully, we're kind of in the vetting process in a layer when it comes to us, that we've already been, I guess, a little too involved, and so.
That's very fair, and that's probably something to discuss with your prosecuting attorney, because I'm just coming at it from what our state law says, but I don't know how the Board of County Commissioners is governed.
Okay.
So I don't.
No, and Matt has done an excellent job, yes, I just.
So, and another approach, because like I said, Misty did express an interest in serving another term, but I did go to the chair and say, you know, I've heard from the commissioners, they really want somebody from our regulated community. So we should take that into consideration while going through the interview process. And so, you know, we thanked Misty for her participation once the board had moved forward with Heather Mason. Because she does own multiple, you know, food establishments. And then, like I said, you saw the other applicants. I mean, we don't have a septic designer in there, but like I shared last time I was here, you know, Kevin does bring that real estate perspective. He has worked with my staff on multiple projects. So we've had also the expertise of our elected officials coming. I mean, you work in the food program from time to time, and so you bring that perspective with you to the board. So it's kind of, and that's when you look at the statute, that's part of it. So we can't say this seat is only for the septic community. That's just not allowed how it's currently written. You would still have to take into consider all the applicants. And so you could send it back to them with what you're asking for. And then
I like the word regulated, in the regulated community, because I think that does open it up.
It does. It opens it, like Heather and others. And again, Matt's coming from the prevention community, which is another actually quite political part of our work, is the substance abuse community. And so that's been, you know, there's a lot of things that bring the attention of the public to what the health district does and what we regulate. So it's, I guess the only unfortunate thing with this seat is they threw everything into this one seat. And
I think Matt has done an excellent job. Yes, I just kind of feel, for me, it kind of would
Yeah.
represent more of what the Grant County Commissioners are, what we're dealing with on a daily basis.
Right.
It's probably more the regulated community.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, I have nothing against that. He's done an excellent job, but kind
I
of
guess-
just more wider representation.
Yeah, so maybe one approach, just, again, I know it's all to you, is if you were to extend his term for one more term and then put that direction for the other seat. But Heather is from the regulated community. If you say you want somebody else from the environmental health, we could do it that way. And then they're kind of getting onboarded for that term. It kind of almost naturally leads to who could be your next board member. But I'm just throwing out option. We can go into the new year with your direction to find new board members, and we'll still have a quorum. We'll still have a meeting in January. That won't be an issue for us.
How long is the term?
Currently 2 years. I had requested with board support if we could go up to 3 years because of getting them onboarded and understanding all that we regulate. We had requested, but I did not participate in that commissioner hearing, so I don't know where you guys landed with that. But right now it's 2 years.
Were we supposed to have a meeting on that? We didn't have a meeting on
I
that.
don't remember that.
I don't think we discussed that.
Oh, okay. I sent you guys an email.
Yes, I sent
I
the
thought
email.
you
I
guys
think-
had discussed it, so I
No,
apologize.
on the 5th. So we need to,
Yeah.
on December 5th. So Caitlin, can you? We'll put that on our.
There's
agenda.
actually some stuff in there we do need to get updated regardless. When I did it,
Yes,
Kevin
I
had
was
reached
reading
out to
it.
me
I
to
did read through it. We just, I guess.
yeah,
haven't
and I'm like,
taken action
oh,
on
there
it.
are actually a few things to include the tribal seat that we need to get brought up with the most recent changes to the statute. So it's timely to get it
Okay.
updated.
We'll get that set. Okay, I don't have any other roundtable items.
I think one of the concerns that we were having is not having a repeat of what happened down in Mattawa. And how we can prevent that from happening again, or at least be more proactive, or.
Yeah.
I know,
We have changed our process since that experience. Yeah, that definitely, you guys have given us as the board more latitude. Now we have a direction to be more regulatory with it, as opposed to before, we were more hands-off. But now we have improved that process but it was with board engagement, like we gave you 3 or 4 different options. The approach we could go, and the board did go with a more aggressive approach with regulating failing septic systems, which we're probably going to have more of in the future. We have a lot of aging systems out there.
I would agree.
All right, so any more questions for Teresa?
No, I don't have it.
Thank you for coming, Teresa. Do you guys want any holds or removals?
I think
Item number,
item
where's that, Caitlin?
number 11, I would like to push that back to the health district, just to see if they could, for the community stakeholder. I don't know if there will be any changes, but, and that would be the health seat number 7. And then I don't think we've got a couple numbers we're trying to finalize on number 8.
Yep.
For the Grant County budget. So I move that we have set up a meeting tomorrow, like at 1 o'clock, to adopt our 2026 budget. That would be my,
I'll second
okay, so
All right.
let me.
It
make a
is
motion.
scheduled now.
Mr. Chair, I move that we approve the consent agenda items 1 through 15, sending number 11 back to the health district for a community stakeholder position, and rescheduling item number 8, which is the Grant County budget, adopting that tomorrow at 1 o'clock, because we have some changes that we have not seen implement.
I'll second that.
Motion and a second, any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion pass, aye. Motion passes as stated by Commissioner Carter. We do have some walk-on items.
I'll do one walk-on at a time.
Okay.
Mr. Chair, I move that we have a walk-on to approve a new account number 212. It would be a kind of a service fund for the construction of the morgue.
I'll second that.
Motion is second. Any discussion? Only discussion, as Commissioner Carter stated, fund creation for morgue payments. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Motion passes.
Mr. Chair, I move that we approve account number 170, and this account will be a solar account for the solar mitigation banking.
I'll second that.
Motion and second. Any discussion? Do you happen to have the current starting fund balance for that one?
I do not.
I just was trying to remember. I think it's 1.8. 3.
Hang on a second.
I'm not finding
I
it quickly.
think
So.
it's 2,995,184.70.
2 9, 3 million. Okay, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes to create Fund 170.
Mr. Chair, I move that we approve our comp plan amendments from the comp plan hearing that we had December 16th, 2025.
I'll second that.
Motion and second. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes to approve comp plan amendments.
Mr. Chair, I move that we start a travel account for 2026 travel for current expense. I do not have a number because this is a new account that will be established because of the 2026 budget.
I'll second that.
Motion and second. Any discussion?
Caitlin, can you reach out to Mandy and let her know? This would be a surprise to her.
We also have the 1 p.m. meeting. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes to create travel expense fund for 2026.
That is all.
Well, Roy.
And Teresa, thank you for coming. It is really
No.
wonderful that we have the
Well, I know
Director of the
it's
Health
such a
District here.
process, so I appreciate your patience. So will you be checking, are you saying you don't want to sit on the interview committee and you want to keep it how it is?
Before, when we've appointed other positions, if we participate, and that was the elected officials, if we participate like with the
You?
Republican Party, we are not eligible to vote here because we already have knowledge of, and that's where we
Okay, so
not been able to.
We'll leave it at that. I'll just share that your request is somebody from the regulated community.
But, and if they don't agree, you know,
Yeah.
but I just feel like I've got to do my part to know. that-
Yes, no, I just want to make sure I'm doing it the
Okay,
way you're
yes.
asking.
But we can ask our civil attorney, but in the past,
Well,
that
and-
has just been because it's a conflict when we've already have inside information.
You do, yeah.
So-
Well, and you'll be at January's Board of Health meeting, so you can express that to them directly too.
Okay.
Yeah, we have that opportunity too. Have a happy new year. I'll see you guys next year.
I know. it sounds crazy.
I know. Bye, guys.
See ya. See you later.
Where's the walk-ons? Do you have the walk-ons still?
Oh, is it this is?
Yeah, probably.
But you know what? I didn't
Liquor
know I
license
had it, sorry.
application.
Liqueur, what kind of,
Yes. Ah. We have a document for that new fund for the travel.
We do not. It was a new one that just,
yeah, so if you wanna create that.
It's a resolution appointing commissioners to boards and committees. That has been corrected to reflect discussion had yesterday.
The chair.
that was one side you sign off.
And I put it on the calendar first thing Monday morning, so you
Wanna
guys
do
can
the
officially take
adoption.
actions. Yes, this is the recommendation of appointment for seat number 5.
Okay, so Rob, that's a really flashy watch. What are you wearing? Is it a Fitbit?
No, it's, I don't know what it is.
Oh, it is a watch. It's just inside out. I'm like,
No, it's just a tracker.
in case you get lost.
No, like a tracker, like, you know, your health.
And I apologize, are you
It lasts like 10 days.
denying or withdrawing the seat 7,
Holding
just holding?
2 weeks, 3 weeks, a month.
Well, we should just pull it, otherwise it's gonna be on the
Yeah,
agenda.
just
They
pull
will
it
resubmit, pulling it. They will
Okay.
resubmit.
And it was both of them or just
No,
the
it's just-
alternate one?
No,
It
it
was
was the
just the
main
one.
one, number
The main
11.
We pulled number,
Oh my gosh, well, they're out of order.
Let me
Okay,
tell you.
this is the alternate,
yeah, the alternate was approved. This
Okay.
is the one.
and we are withdrawing the primary.
Yes.
Got it.
No, I don't want to wear Apple Watch all the time, so I got one
I
of
know that it was
these.
a watch, I'm like,
Let's
what?
request
Can you
to
hit, like,
DocuSign.
Hit it and then the time bounces up.
Just tracks my sleep and all that. My activity,
Are you sleeping well?
pulse, no,
You said the little
5 hours last night or something.
Which ring do you have? Is it the Aura?
or-
Is that the one you have to pay monthly?
The yearly, I think.
Yeah, I couldn't do it. I was like, man, give me something that works that's cheap.
Resolution regard, oh my gosh,
But
that's a
it
huge
provides a
paperclip.
lot of information, steps and everything.
Yeah, that's what this one does.
For free.
I wanted the ring, but I was like, I don't like the ring.
The ring lasts for, I can't say those for a week, because I'm like, oh, I need to check I need to charge it. But I can't say any names, but do you realize some of the components of this are manufactured in Craig County?
Oh, nice.
That, it,
Or like battery.
yeah, the battery life on it.
They were in Whoop too. I wanted a Whoop band, which is basically what this is, like a knockoff Whoop band. I just don't want to pay
What's a Whoop band? Is that like a?
it's like a really good looking one of these.
Well, I'm just saying with the watch going, how do you like,
I don't know where one of my watches is. I think I left it on a snowmobile ski or something.
did you get a lot of miles in that day?
Mm-mm. I was working on it.
Oh,
In traffic.
I thought you were like wrapped around, like,
The
I'm gonna get
watch.
some serious mileage on this thing.
Oh, no. Just like my mechanical watches. $20.25.
That's your ERNR rates.
And the showing says it's going to be a year.
Gotta make 26 better than 25.
What's gonna happen in 2026?
I don't know, something
It's gonna be
good.
better than 2025. Oh, I'm glad you found a small. I just want 2026 to be like this, just big and bold.
These are the resolutions for the creation of the new funds. I'll work with accounting to get a
Don't be surprised on
resolution.
the new one. Good job with that, we'll talk about it one o'clock.
I'll work with Mandy to get something put together for consent next week. So we can have it there for you guys to sign. The resolution. This is the first of the ordinances related to the comprehensive plan amendments.
Yes.
I'm gonna say yes. I didn't even give it to you. So hopefully it was the right one. Next few minutes.
Caitlin, you're doing just a fabulous job.
I'll go tell them people that.
With everything. It's a good year for us. And you're not going to do tourism next year?
I am doing tourism next
Oh,
year.
you are? Okay, I was
Nope.
thinking Barb took that over.
No, Barb is doing the homeless housing task force and LEF.
Maybe you're doing tourism next year,
Maybe I'm
for a
doing
little
tourism
while.
next year.
Hopefully not for a long while.
And I have this special meeting notices printed, so I'll get those posted here after this for tomorrow's budget
1 p.m.
review. Yes.
Cool.
Would you like me to alert the elected officials and department heads also? Just send a little quick email FYI
For the 1 p.m.?
for tomorrow.
Yeah, you could.
Okay. There you have
Is
it.
that it?
That's it.
All right, it is 11:27. This concludes our weekly commission meeting. We'll be back at 1 p.m. for our Budget Finance Committee meeting. Good afternoon. It is 1 p.m. and we're here for our Budget and Finance Committee meeting. We really packed the house on this one.
Here comes
There they
Daryl.
are.
Daryl's here. Wow, that's a shirt.
Carol, go you.
You went all in today, I see.
What?
You went all in today.
What does 6'7" have to do with naughty and nice?
What is my?
Absolutely nothing.
Oh,
That's my
are you
birthday.
6'7"?
Today is your birthday?
Yes.
Okay.
Happy birthday, Daryl.
Happy
birthday, Daryl.
I thought you were being one of those kids.
Who's that?
6.
I have no idea what those kids.
I don't think they know either.
Thank you.
They don't know.
Daryl, you're 67. What are you still working? What are you still doing here?
Well, aren't they raising the retirement age and social security again?
Aren't you, I thought you have a July
I'll
1.
look at it, I guess.
Is
What?
your retirement date July 1?
Yes.
So have you talked to Carrie about taking over for you?
Oh, we've had a lot of talks.
Guess we'll know in May if she's gonna.
So you're a non-part, that's right. That's where we have that nonpartisan.
That's where you don't have a law that goes farther than filling the position from within the office.
That's the way, yeah, that's why we figured that out, so, Terry, welcome.
So there is no secondary process
Y'all better help me.
from any entity providing you a list of
We'll be
people.
more than
picked.
happy to.
Yeah.
But still have to go on the ballot.
In November, yeah.
Well, in May.
Right.
Make sure that gets done, Daryl.
Mhm.
Slight oversight if not.
Relying on all of your help.
I gotta figure out a Form 7, by the way, with the PDC office.
Well, at that time of filing, she doesn't have anything she's required to do at this time.
Okay, Daryl, are we rich?
Beyond our imagination.
All right.
Michelle will not be here. Sandy will be down shortly. She is just printing some reports.
Okay, might let her know her computer is here.
I don't know if they're gonna bring down the minutes for November or not.
Probably not, because
Michelle's not
Spreadsheet
here.
we sent yesterday. Let me make heads or tails of that. Was that every finance meeting minute, or how many different?
Yeah.
That's quite the Excel
You don't
spreadsheet.
remember?
It had 70 tabs at the bottom of it.
Oh, that's, yes, all the all those.
I hadn't seen that before, so I was just going through it going, a lot of data here.
We got history now.
Yeah, and then I had to go back, fill back months with data that I could. Oh, I know what I've got to put down. Okay, all right. So the state pool is right now hovering at about 380. We'll see tomorrow how they end the month. We've had a practically $1 million drop in investment portfolio because of all the large amount of debt payments on the first and a lot of expenses being made and not as much revenues to collect. So our portfolio is now in the 400 millions versus 500 million. The county pool rate for November is net is 2.987. Expect that to go up again this month due to the things that matured this month, where some of them were actually under our 0.6% and now got replaced with stuff that's over 4%. And then we had things that were called, that got called within the 3 months, and we're in that cycle now of things that could potentially get called. And so we're right now in a replacement cycle where we just replace investments that mature or get called with new stuff and not use any more cash to buy something new and add to the agency side of the portfolio. So we're targeting to keep make sure at the end of each month is over $100 million in the state pool, just to have that large amount of extra cash, but also sort of like diversifying the portfolio. And it also makes the monthly, the average monthly balance, the duration down, because the state pool gets treated as 1 day versus buying something for a year that gets treated as 365 days on that particular, so duration average of the portfolio is down. That, you get that when I give the report to Barbara, that I don't know if you are getting put in your packet. Are you getting that investment report in your packet?
It goes through the mail, yeah.
Okay. That tells you the duration of the portfolio. So we're still doing quite fine on duration. And right now, we'll see on interest rates, what future calls will happen. Now, we have the revenues. The revenues are less than a year ago. We actually ended the year at being 5% ahead of last year's balance, and over almost 800,000 more than a year ago for sales tax. We ended up just 0.77% ahead of last year, but we were under budget for the 1/10, and we're under a budget for the distressed county monies, and public safety was down a lot than what was budgeted for, and I didn't do the one thing I said I was going to do, which was get the debt payments and the revenues for that to show that we don't have the money, a positive balance to do a transfer of that percentage.
Sure.
Yeah, well, right, yeah, plus with our drop in revenue, that then just made it for sure that we're negative, that all our debt payments, we were supposed to take this number, this revenue number, and subtract the debt from it. And if it's a negative, then we don't have a transfer to a fund. If it's over, whatever the overage is, we do a calculation. We ignore any other expenses that happen with the fund. But it's just a pure comparison of the revenues, excluding interest income, compared to the debt payments. And if there's a positive, then we actually make a transfer of a percentage of that net positive to a fund. If it's negative, we make no transfer. And our expectations for the next 5 years is that we won't have a transfer. But we'll see. We'll see what happens regarding our sales tax estimates for the public safety.
All pretty crystal ballish.
Okay.
Can you remind me what distressed is?
Distressed counties, and that's a good question. This is where we divide the number by 4 nights and 5 nights.
Oh, yeah.
So the distressed counties is somehow our county got on the list of qualifying, yet Yakima County never got this money. Even though they're definitely more distressed than we are in regards to per capita basis. But in talking to Yakima County, Yakima County is also receiving $2 million from the state next year, and we're receiving 0 because there's a special bill 6080 that was passed a while ago that had a special complex formulas to verify a whole bunch of things on cities and counties where some cities, actually all our cities actually are getting revenue in our county from it, except Moses Lake. All the rest of them are getting revenue from this special fund, and we're not getting it. And half the counties in the state get money, and the rest of us don't because we're not as distressed, and a different type of distress and pure those calculations. So yeah, they just sent me the formulas for this 26 for us to take a look at all the different factors. And there's all these different types of revenues that some counties get some and not all the others, and some can get from everything based on it. It also showed that they calculate the county population to be 43,700 something for their estimates. And so it's based on your population. They have the highest bracket is 100,000 or more, and then 25,000 to 100,000 bracket on population. So we're in the 25 to 100,000 group, and with our 43,000 people live in the county. All the rest would live in cities, which would be, since we're about 103,000, about 60,000, 58 to 60,000 living in cities in this county.
You know, was that a House bill or a Senate bill, 6080?
Probably Senate bill. But when you look at bill information, except the report, yeah, I have a link. I have a favorite, which is bill information. I call it bill information.
Yeah.
And then you just need to know the year it passed, because you use the numbers all the time.
Yeah.
And so you have a number, you gotta figure out which year that number was used where it passed. So I think it is probably over 10 years ago.
Okay.
But I have the formulas. I can send those formulas. I can send you the spreadsheet of all the cities and counties. It's a huge spreadsheet. It's 2 tabs. It's only 2 tabs on that. One for counties and one for cities. But it's interesting going over the Yakima County treasurer of all our differences and how we are in so much better position regarding our per capita numbers versus Yakima County. So, and that's just the way it has been for years for our county doing so well. We have a lot of coming in. We got a lot of last end of year transactions, a lot of them happening. Have a whole bunch today, and then we'll have a whole bunch tomorrow. of end of year sales. The hotel motel tax was just down about $83,000, which actually to budget, which is actually really good, especially since I didn't know that Gorge was going to have such a big depleted year and did not have the normal concerts that they have, because if they did, this number would have been blown to bits. So, well, actually, I wasn't projecting that, so, but we still had a lot of good activity happening out in the county for a hotel motel tax. And then I don't know if the community development, that they gave you a report on how well the additional revenues that they generated, getting all the Airbnb type facilities paying the tax. That weren't paying the tax in the past.
Is there any way to forecast PILT for next year? I know that they signed the federal bill fully funding PILT and SRS for 2026.
Yes, I saw that in the news today. I didn't see the worksheet, and actually it is a bill, and I don't know if the bill has the detail or that details on outside the bill in Congress. But it sounded like it was going to be funded at an even higher rate, and I budgeted slightly more than we got this year. We had actually a good jump this year.
That's the 1,108,000.
Yes. And of course, I put in there, well, Fed Pelt, I actually put in there Hanford as well. So I got Hanford, we got the BOR, the BOE, and then the U.S. Fish and Wildlife. That's for the 4 different Fed Pelts that are in this number. So we ended the year with about 170,000 more altogether. So that was good, a good help.
And then that's in your revenue numbers for 26?
Yes. And then I budgeted for the total for 26, I probably budgeted 1.25, 1.26.
Is Nature Conservancy not
No,
put in there?
they're not a Fed Pet. They're a private entity that we get the money and just disperse it by
Anyways.
by just the tax codes.
Yeah.
So it's not controversial at all. It's just spread it to everyone, just like taxes, and no one can complain about that method. Not worth the fight on some of these revenues. The property taxes for the year end, yeah, we're still gonna be short about $2.5 million. We got our REC payment. We just have one more next year. And then that large revenue goes away. Interest and penalties was up higher than I was expecting, which is good because, well, it's actually, well, it was unexpected, but it also, it was not from the places we normally get it. Normally, we have a lot of current use removal interest and interest. We didn't have that much this year from current use removals. And that revenue is definitely not going to be the amounts we get in the past, since they changed the law where you only have to go back 4 years versus 7. And so in reality, while they changed this law, this was a hit to counties that have a lot of current use programs. So it's another thing that hurts the county revenues without any offsetting giving us something to substitute for it. Just like when they had reduced the interest rate on houses, we have a lot of houses that have got delinquent and then paid, but then we lost all that revenue without any offset by the legislature for that. So now, one of the things is, there's 2 things I didn't put on this list. PD privilege tax. I brought this up multiple times before. We don't know if I had to bring it up because I sent an email yesterday to our association ledge chair saying, when are we gonna have a meeting? We haven't had a meeting in a long time. We've got some major issues to discuss. The treasurers are proposing legislation on solar and wind towers we created language to exempt local tax from the refunds. The Waco decided that to try to find a bill to attach that to. So, but we don't know what that bill is, and if we haven't seen the bill, because we sure hope it's not a bill that does something that we don't want, that it gets attached to. But it also is, we had this big problem regarding PV privilege tax and other revenues, liquor excise. We had a few of these items where we took negatives in June. And the reason it happened was when the state set their budget, there's some revenue sources that we get that if the revenues go up, our expectations are, and if we're generating and having all these used and money's generated, that the revenues go up, that we share in the same formula. But what the legislator did intentionally or unintentionally was they put budget caps on the expense side. And even though the revenues were higher, then we still got a lesser amount than what we got from the year before. Because they set a budget cap that they probably are doing, trying to balance the budget with, that actually impacted counties and cities. Now, for us, the PD privilege tax cost was $170,000. So we were asking that we needed the Commissioner Association to make sure that those budgets for those categories that are revenue-based have more flexibility to be matched up with the revenues, that if there's more revenues coming in, the state gets more revenues, and then we get a share of it. But right now, we can have gross sales on electrical sales at record levels, and we'll actually get less money if they set a budget at the same level or even less. Here, they're trying to reduce budgets, and if they reduce some budgets, they may get the state may get the benefit of all the revenues coming in from all the electrical sales, and we get less money, which shouldn't be the way it is. And that's why we were hoping the Commissioner Association would make sure to keep an eye on that. But right now, it sounds like the Commissioner Association hasn't even talked about it. And these are revenues that we're getting harmed. We should be benefiting from growth. And right now, and so we don't know if any communication was made to the people providing these budget amendments. Are even aware about this. Because we got impacted by 6 different things where we had negatives in June because it hit the budget cap. It doesn't mean the revenue goes away and gets refunded. It means the state keeps the revenue. And the counties had to pay for it. So when we talk about revenue projections, it means we have to make sure other things are fixed so we get the revenues we used to get. And that's why some of our projections are down, because I don't see anybody doing any action to get us back to what we used to be. So.
You said you had 2 items.
Yeah, the second item. It's hard to, we haven't found it yet, but we have a contract, a lease, that is currently with Boostis Media for a tower that we get payment on a monthly basis. Well, in that contract, which we haven't been able to find, the increase is based the October CPI. Well, it looks like the federal government's just not going to do it. So, which means we don't get an increase because our contract specifically is tied into something that's not being done for this year. And so that means we don't get a revenue increase of our lease that we normally get each year.
I think Public Works has that because Barbara's doing contracts, Sam Castro took that over, that contract, so it could be up in Public Works.
Okay, because what we need to decide is, right now, I told the people, if they don't do one, then our contract means everything stays the same. And that you don't have to pay more. Now, unless we find the contract and decide to renegotiate,
Yeah, how long's the contract good for?
well, this contract's going on 20 years.
What's the name of the contract? Who is it?
Well, it used to be with KUE Radio long ago.
Oh, and then
And
Northland.
then it kept changing ownership
Northland
of
Cable.
who's put something on our tower and leasing out that. And right now it's Bustos Media. It used to be Alpha Media LLC. There's just so many people over the years.
I didn't realize we were getting anything from anybody except for Tomer.
Well, that used to.
This is the only other
It's
one.
like $500.
Is it going through the BOCC?
Well, right now, this is from the contract, from the instruction of the contract, I was to communicate with them when I get the October CPI to tell them what the next 12 months payments would be. And they wanted to pay more, but I said, the contract says this. I don't want you to start paying an estimate because I just want to follow the contract and you may benefit it if there's a large delay. And when we get that number, then I'll go back and say how much of the back, how much we owe and catch up. But if we don't have that number at all, then the number we've been collecting will stand until hopefully we have an October CPI for 26, which isn't guaranteed.
That looks like according to this, the Beasley Hill, I assume that's the one you're talking about?
Yep.
It has an expiration date of 8/17/2032. Grant County Public Works.
But that lease payment's going into the current expense fund. And we collect a leasehold tax and remit it to the state. So that's the problem with that contract is when you tie it to something and then all of a sudden after all these years, they just determine they're not going to do one. Then we can't charge them something that's, the contract says this, and all we can do is follow it. And this time it's costing us a little bit of money. So, yeah, we took a big hit on emissions tax. Because that'll be around 900,000, let's see, 195
I
divided
think
by
last year
11.
they were doing some catch up though. That's why
Right,
that was so
2
high.
million. Yeah, I think that was 2.1 million. And so, yeah, that's it we don't got any more emissions tax for this year. So that's $750,000 shortage on that revenue. And the REIT, looks like we've got a good month going on right now. We'll see how the final numbers look like. But it'll be probably a little bit less than budget. And investment interest is way over budget. Because year in the past, I was expecting a lot of rate cuts this year. And they didn't happen, so our rates stayed higher, we made more money, a lot more money. So that's what I have, and we just got the minutes. Look at, and if you agree, I need a motion to approve the minutes for November. Well, these references would have been on the.
The last one.
Last one.
I was just seeing how they compare.
Mhm.
Okay, so moved.
We have a motion to approve the minutes. I second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye. There you
All
are.
right, thank you very much. Back to Michelle. Any questions you have for me? Well,
Happy birthday, Daryl.
Well, we do have somehow I haven't approved the contract, we have a 6-month contract with Will Clemmer Financial Package that I haven't presented to the commission. Believe the position process is, I gotta put on the agenda for you guys to approve it. Or is that contract, is that the process where you approve that contract, continue the contract? Or do you do that for all contracts for property tax software and everything that you approve every year?
Contracts have to go through the prosecuting attorney's office.
Well, this is just reapproving something that hasn't changed.
It's a renewal.
Well,
Renewal.
it still needs to go through them,
Renewal.
right? I believe they want, you can let them know that it's
So what are
renewal.
they looking at if no words change?
Well, I think
Well,
you're
so-
supposed to highlight if there's a change.
Typically what I'll do is I'll send it to the PA, if I have one of those, send to the PAO's office and say, this is a renewal of a contract that's already been assigned. There have been no changes to the contract. They'll still look at it and they'll call you up and they'll say, you've read this and there are 0 changes. Yes, there are 0 changes except for the expiration date. And then typically you'll have it in a day or 2.
So do I do that in the same process of putting it on the agenda, or do I have to wait for that before I can?
I would do it first and then put it on the agenda, because you don't, if they might get it back to
But
you
you
in a
need to
week.
compare if there's anything different, because they're gonna ask, you can't just assume it's the same, so to expedite it,
Yeah,
you're not alone, Daryl.
all right, so we got that, we're getting close to full movement, we just have the warrants to finish up and balance. And then we move forward to the new package, which means not having to do all that double entry.
That will be very nice.
Mhm.
What will I do with my life?
So, and we have a position, we have a retirement, we have to fix the job description, clean it up a little bit, and get through the process. But while that position's unfilled, the cost of that position didn't go away because we had the payoffs for the outstanding annual leave and stuff. And we'll have for next year, it won't start at the beginning of the year, but we have unbudgeted the payoffs for when Connie retires.
Yee.
So
be a big
then,
one.
and then it'll come down to how much time before that position gets refilled, where the payoff for a position covers a certain gap of time not filled until it is filled at a lesser rate because it'll be brand new and not at the max salary rate.
Is that calculated in the budget for 26?
No. Because we didn't have any official notice that she's leaving prior to the end of next year. And now I believe she will.
Who is this?
Connie Wilson.
Okay.
So now I believe she will. She may leave at the same time as me or a little bit after.
So Daryl, I'm hoping that you're getting your transition team together and you're working with HR to make a smooth transition as you will be stepping down. And replacing, it sounds like another employee.
Well, we have our first major part of the transition, and then and that's why future positions are going to be definitely have someone have a bigger voice on those decisions of all future people that come in. That will be the type of people that she will want in her office. So, yeah, it does.
Wait,
and
she? You? It's official?
I
I mean,
would
as of
never,
10 minutes ago.
don't treat anything official. If it's official, then you have to fill out PDC forms.
Right now,
Nothing, that's one of the warnings is never make something official unless you're ready to fill out forms.
I think you'd be great for it. Way better than that guy.
I'm just sloughing off, just sitting back.
You could be on the volunteer group,
I'm gonna have him on speed dial.
consultant. We may
On
have to
my
use you
flip
as a
phone?
consultant for a little bit.
Yeah.
Well, Daryl, I would seriously be working on your transition plan because it sounds like you've got a lot of moving parts, so.
No. But this happens eventually. Just. We'll be fine. She's definitely a
you're
lot
saying
more
that 'cause
knowledgeable.
you're
She
gonna be
definitely
gone.
carries a lot more knowledgeable than the few treasurers out there already. So that's some people are coming out with zero, not coming from within. They're coming from the outside. And so it's years and years
Terrifying.
It
of
is
of
terrifying.
training.
Just like
Yeah.
imagine.
And we still have some treasurers that just don't want to touch certain areas of the office and just whatever their office staff say, it goes. They won't, not even oversight, because it's just complex.
Not Daryl. Daryl's like a
Real
wrecking
estate
ball,
excise
just every
tax.
corner, every area.
Real estate excise tax is quite complex. It's not an easy thing. Especially when you have title companies that continually have so much turnover. Gosh,
You gotta train them, Daryl. That's your job.
and we have to train attorneys' offices. And then they charge their clients for our training.
You should be getting a kickback.
Be charging double.
It's just,
Go get Daryl started. Well, happy birthday. What are you doing for your birthday on a happy note?
I
We've
just
got
had a
1 minute.
lunch with my sister and nephews and Allison, my daughter.
Wonderful.
Nice.
I think there's, everyone has something going on tonight. Or there's a secret thing that's happening that I don't even know about.
I'm sure it is a secret party. Okay, so if you're done, Daryl, we can
Yes, we can go. We're-
transition.
Yeah, I see the next meeting will be January 27th. Tuesday last week. Is that a
Next
date
year.
that's gonna be?
Yes.
Yep. Okay, I'm done.
Plus update for the years with Daryl.
So the November reports that I gave you were sent out a week or two ago. So that's not anything new, but it didn't reflect anything that we had done in Tyler, which is the AP items. And so I included a supplementary page that is a budget to actual by fund, yes. And that includes the Great Plains expenses and Tyler expenses. I have a couple of Tyler reports. I don't have the best one yet that I want to provide to you. The one that I have available is like 80 pages long, and I can email it to you if you would like to see it. But I'm still looking to find one that is
Summarized.
yeah, more summarized, but still not just an Excel spreadsheet that I've modified in some way.
And then do we still have we have 5.9 million in current expense. Do we still have a payroll that needs to come out of this?
No, that should include the final payroll.
Okay.
Yeah, we're significantly under budget on the current expense. And so I provided that breakout for you, which shows the departments in current expense that we were under or over, how's it, or as it may be. That's the other page.
So are we gonna get reports that'll actually have the names? Because it's not gonna be, it's not, yeah, it's not easy to,
The fund name?
yes, the department name, the
You
fund
really
name.
don't have them memorized like by heart?
Right, but I'm not the normal person.
Well,
I'm just writing them down. I wrote them down.
I just created that on the fly, Daryl, but yes, we are hoping to formalize a better report.
Okay, I just wanna make
And
sure.
I'll include you on the Tyler one, which I know I already sent them to you, Daryl.
Right, but those had a lot of things that didn't have names on them either, so I was going,
Just so you know, a lot of
Yeah, sorry, but I was like, oh, they already got that one email to them, maybe that'd be.
I just don't want to strain. I just think I don't think commissioners want to strain trying to remember all the different names, all the different department names to the numbers.
I'm writing them down.
Oh, look, for anyone who wants, I can resend that report with the names added on it.
I'm writing them down, and you have one right here, so.
So I am curious about the construction fund that there might be something in there that gets eliminated, but that was not one that I identified for an extension. Was there something recent that came out that wasn't in there last month?
Which construction fund?
For the jail, 313.
Should have been whatever we have left over, we should have had all of it in there.
Like a $6 million payment since last month?
Since last, I have to go back and look.
Because it might be something that gets eliminated and I just need to go look at it, but
Yeah.
that popped out to me right away.
Well, in the way money's been, our total portfolio has gone down by 100 million. That would provide a good explanation of part of that. That doesn't make me have a doubt that could easily exist.
Yeah, but it's not part of our extension.
We had a November payment and we had a December payment that was just sent to you guys. I don't know if it's been processed. I don't remember how much it is exactly. I can try and look it up. It would probably be around 5 or 6 million.
Oh, then that's probably what happened then. Is it technically paid yet? Because, man, 2025, 2026,
No, it might not be paid yet. It might not have.
it might be, the check might be cut because it wouldn't show up in my report if it wasn't cut. And actually, if I look, I can go check by the Tyler.
No, the November pay app was 3.6 million. Let me see if I can find it.
I feel like I would have got the November one.
Well, it didn't get processed because the architect was late getting it to us. So it was November, but it was later than normal.
Was it paid in December? If it's paid in December, because we had to have that notification in that first week of December.
Yeah, it may have been. I just don't remember.
Is 501TS
Yes.
data processing? Okay.
Mhm.
Just pointing out, Daryl, your overtime. Not that I'm looking at it or anything, but
Well, it hasn't changed for a long time.
$36,000 over your budget. Sheriff is almost $300,000 over their budget. They had 580,000 and they clocked in at 869,000.
Huh?
Is this the overtime?
Oh, overtime. I was like, sheriff's
Or November.
was under budget.
Not their overtime.
Not their overtime, no.
That's a lot of overtime.
I am not finding this.
Commissioners, we had some overtime in our office.
There were a few days where either Barb or myself had to stay late for something like a prosecuting attorney interviews and the prison master plan workshop.
Okay.
I was told you wanted to talk about a travel fund.
Yes, thank you, Mandy. Item number 4, we would like to pull all travel out of current expense and put it in a fund so that we will be approving the travel.
That is definitely
Pain in the rear.
feasible.
I don't know how you do it, all out-of-state travel or all travel. So we're just trying to,
I'm assuming it's only for current expense employees.
only for current expense, yes.
So probably just a new department would suffice for managerially tracking that, but you would need to create a resolution defining how you want that process to be. Like, pretty simple, like if you plan to go to state travel, you need to submit this form to the BOCC's office, et cetera. One thing to keep in mind, how stringent you make your resolution will tie up money. If you make it, well, it'll be a committed pot of money. So you would have to establish that amount for each year, or a set amount like annually.
People do it annually. It's just, I think there's some fear that if we put it in the budgets, that we won't get. We just need to keep an eye on, the budgets are tight this year, and this is an opportunity for the commissioners to keep an eye on a budget that.
Is it only
I don't
out
wanna
of
say
state?
could get out of hand, but it's gonna be really hard to figure out what's out of state and what's in state, so that's kind of, and
It shouldn't be hard to figure out what's out of state and in state. Policy is out of state, they have to ask.
yeah, well, and that's what I've asked, but apparently elected officials don't have to follow the policy, which kind of blows my mind because I believe the state auditor's office looks into that, and if, whether you're an employee or an elected official, if you're breaking policy, you're breaking policy.
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Who's gonna be the policer of it? How would we verify that anyone who's gone on, obviously through AP, we could kind of catch some things, but that's not necessarily something Joe looks for, that it necessarily, oh, it's out of state or it's not. So how would we enforce that?
Well, I think the enforcement is through, again, policy, but the accountability in the policy is that if you didn't bring your travel before the Board of County Commissioners first, we won't pay out your travel claim. We just won't get paid.
Personally liable for it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Make that policy, and then first time somebody says, I don't care what you say, I can do it anyway, and you say, well, we're not paying your credit card.
Are you awake? Playing his party in his mind tonight. So, I mean, I would love to know how to put it in a travel account, because it does sound like a pain, but if we do,
I'm with her. I understand what she's saying about the travel account. I think it's a good idea. It's the enforcement of it is the trick, and I think it's just got to be a policy. And even though elected officials have already shown propensity for ignoring policy because they don't have to, right?
Well, they think that they don't have to, but I believe they are supposed to. Policy is a policy.
Well, your
Yes, I know.
legislative body owns the budget, so you can decide not to pay those things, right? So.
But where does that put us if they're using sorry? Where does that put us if they're using a Grant County credit card?
When you turn it off.
And then we can make them pay it. We could take it out of their paycheck.
Or you can turn
Depending
it
on
off.
the dollar amount, to like, we wouldn't have to space it out if it was a large significant amount, but yeah, we could, if it was in violation of county policy, we could deduct their paycheck to pay the credit card fees.
There used to be, and I know this is a pain, and I was glad when it got cleaned up, but maybe we have to go back to it. A lot of departments had 2 credit cards. You had a department credit card for making purchases, but you had a separate one that was travel. and that thing was turned off. And it wasn't, it was activated after your travel was approved, you know, and that was the only, you couldn't use it. So and somebody uses the department, their purchasing credit card for travel, you either turn it off or you just don't pay it. You tell them that it wasn't authorized.
But what happens on the fly, like you get invited to a conference and it's next week and there's no time for approval? I'm
Well,
just
but
saying.
there's always time because that's an email to the chair.
Oh, okay.
That's a phone call to the chair. Hey, I got this thing.
So this is not a Wednesday, you have to get it in to even talk about the following week situation?
You're supposed to have out-of-state travel 30 days prior.
Okay.
We never have out-of-state travel. Well, actually, I was trying to, on investments.
Well, in-state travel has always been up to the elected official department head, right? If you had in-state travel, that was okay to do. You didn't need BOCC approval. Out-of-state, you had to have it into accounting and to the BOCC 30 days prior, you know, with an estimate of what your costs were going to be. I mean, there was a lot of times airline costs change, travel costs change, so you were estimating as closely as you could, but that was approved prior to travel. And I would just have those.
There's a conference.
So, I mean, how hard is
March or April in Las Vegas on investments. They have every year. Yeah. It was fine for one guy.
Did you teach them something?
What?
Did you teach them a thing or two?
We had some discussions regarding what they were teaching, and I was asking questions that probably didn't like the answer.
Well, it's a really simple thing. Let's just use that as an example. She's going to go to this conference, right? In January, she goes on Kayak and looks up flights to Las Vegas. She writes that down. She gets the hotel cost and the cost of the fee, and you can go to the GSA website and get the cost of the per diem. You can be within 3 to 5% of your total costs. You put that in a consent letter, and it goes to consent, and it's approved, and then you're good to go. Right, then that fund can be charged. It's really that, I don't know why it's so difficult. It's a really simple thing to do. It's, you know, even emergency travel is not difficult. You know, the chair is a phone call away.
That's why for county treasurers, for regional meetings, we just have the cost of the meetings be paid by the association. That's just the travel cost. So when we talk about, are we including mileage?
Yeah.
So we're including mileage in the approval process when it's only mileage?
Well, if that's travel, I think if all travel, if that's in your travel fund in your budget, I don't know how to separate, this is where we're gonna.
Again, yeah, you can, I'm sorry to cut you off again, you can estimate your mileage. If you know you're driving to the Spokane arena, right? I mean, let's different example. We host everything in Grant County, right? All the treasurers come to Moses Lake. Those treasurer from Kitsap or Snohomish County, they can just put in their iPhone and know exactly how many miles it's going to be, and they can put that on, you know, a request to their commissioners and have that approved. We know that we're paying 0.57 cents per gallon or whatever it is today. I don't even know, it's probably wrong, but you can figure all that out ahead of time and be, again, within 3 to 5%, which is typically acceptable. And then when you get back any excess cost, you can put it on your travel plan. Oh, I was off by $50. You know, it's just not difficult to do travel.
Not a big thing.
So I do know HR is in the process of updating policies, and travel policies is one of them. We can have the process outlined in the policy itself, or we can have the policy reference a resolution of what is expected for out-of-state travel. Up to you guys.
Isn't it? If you go to the internet and you go to travel resources under the accounting office, the travel claim is a fillable form because I helped Katie and Emily build it. And the policy is right on that page. I mean, it's on the page right now.
So Decora's on, so Decora, would it be easier to have a resolution or easier to update the travel policy?
Well, even with the resolution, we'll need to update the policy to reference it. Either one is fine with me. But it will still be an update to the policy. So whatever the board would like, we're happy to do.
If you did it as a resolution, it would be easier to update annually.
Okay.
If something you didn't like about it, you know, because it's the first year of doing it, and that way you're not having to like update your policy every time. But up to you guys.
I feel
Yep,
like
that makes sense, Mandy.
hopefully we don't have to do it in 2027. Okay, I like the resolution.
But what you're saying is limited to those reimbursements that are specific to current expense fund.
Yeah, only
Yes.
current expense, because that's where our,
But also mental health has its own separate rules that they still have to get approval for something.
so does Public Works and.
And so we would
Renew.
create a department under current expense that's specifically out-of-state travel.
Would be all
Actually, it
travel.
sounded like all travel, not just out of
It'll be
state.
all travel, because
Oh.
we don't know.
Because
We
most of
don't
the tra-
know
Oh,
what's
okay.
most of the travel
out-of-state.
is
I'll
in
toggle
state.
then. So just a travel fund within current expense as a department. And then anything that we budget will move to that.
Yeah, all travel. Go into that special account.
So that mean there will be no more tracking of how much was fed to that account from each department?
Well,
So
I
another
think
department
I
can
think
use
we're
the
gonna need a
travel
list
monies of
because-
another department?
Well, because
I
like.
think it's easy enough to filter it out as, I mean, you'll be able to do a report. You can do that report in GP right now. You can do it in Tyler, I'm sure.
We'll need to know what, yeah, I would hate to say it's one big lump sum and then, let's say Daryl's office, like, oh, we've got $200,000 to travel, let's do, making everybody else's travel budget. Well, I don't know how, Mandy, that would be the best too.
We could do a separate fund, a managerial fund that rolls up into current expense every year, but just separated for the purpose of this tracking and still have the departments be identified under that fund uniquely.
Yes, okay, like if
We
the
could do that.
VOCC has 10,000, they have 10,000, Daryl
Mhm.
has
Mhm.
20,000.
So we would give it a special
Maintenance,
revenue
facilities
number,
maintenance, okay.
100 something. And
Okay, so that whole thing, yeah, because I need to have a pot of money and go, I don't know who has what.
yeah, it's not enough to be a standalone fund, but
Okay.
yeah, we can keep it separate for
Rob,
tracking
Kevin?
throughout the year.
Are you good with that?
Yeah, no, I think that works. That works probably the
You
best.
got a soft nod from Rob?
I mean, yeah, that's what we talked about, so yeah.
So like the walk-on today, did we create those new funds?
Yes.
We have to do one for the travel fund then too.
We did do a new travel. We'll just have to sign
We
the
just don't have a
resolution next
fund
year.
number.
Yeah.
But we did approve the fund being created.
Oh, okay, so you just need me to give you the number. Okay,
Mhm.
that's easy.
Well, we'll form the resolution and put it on consent next week to memorialize their action that they took today.
So we have the 212 that we did today, the 170, the comp plan amendments, and then we approved a new travel fund just for current expense.
Clarification. New fund or new department?
New fund, Daryl.
So are you going to move money and spend it out of this fund and need a budget for it?
Well, we don't,
Or is it just put money in it when you actually spend it and make it a zero-based fund?
it's technically part of current expense budget. We don't have to do it as a standalone budget. Whatever amount we want to take from current expense and move to that, we can do it to their discretion. Because it's not going to be presented standalone. It's just,
Okay, so it's a new department,
but it's going to be a new fund number.
a new department number.
No, they're going to keep department numbers and it's going to be a new fund number.
How are we going?
But it'll all roll up to current expense.
But it'll just roll in back
For
and
So
forth.
is
reporting
it
purposes.
001 something?
No, it'll be 172.
So are you pre-funding it?
They're going to have to fund it as they go.
I believe whatever, if we have
We need it moved.
$200,000 that's in everybody's budget, then that
Because you
200,000.
can move it out of budgets by creating another department.
Yeah, but then we
Without
cannot
creating a
track.
different
But
fund.
Daryl, this is like in the weeds for us. I don't think the board can tell us. I think Mandy, we're gonna rely on Mandy to see whether it's a fund or
If they want
whatever.
to track it by department, but separately it has to be a new fund.
Okay, so you just said that we put as a department, it's not trackable.
No, because not at the GL level, because if it's Department 189, how do we know what travel was from Commissioner's office, what travel was from Treasurer's office? But if we do Fund 179, then we could tack on the department in the second segment and then know, quick glance, this is travel funds for these departments, but it's not commingled with all the other monies.
Well, that's the one big thing about, it's a big hassle about getting spreadsheets from you, is you have so many tabs on the bottom. And so this is just gonna add a whole bunch of board tabs on the bottom of your spreadsheets.
Oh, gosh,
Did you see the one you sent out yesterday?
I know.
We have 1 minute until we have open record public hearing. Just so everybody knows, we're gonna have to close this meeting.
Sorry, Daryl, but
So let me ask, how are they getting funded?
I'm gonna move all the travel from the respective departments into it,
Great,
all of it,
And he's like, good, I have one more little task to do.
but it'll still
So,
all
what-
roll up.
yeah.
So think of it like this, it's like a sub-fund.
Yeah, I don't need
Current
to, you don't have to
expense.
put it on your cash sheet, Daryl.
Really?
No,
Then why are you doing it 179?
what?
Why, because that's you're talking in fund number that would show up on a cash sheet.
For you, it could be 001, for me.
Well, Daryl, I hope you have a fabulous birthday with the rest of the day. So relax.
So if you adopt the budget, you make a motion, you make a motion to adopt the budget, you in the motion have to say with moving funds from travel to a specific.
No, but that's kind of what this meeting is for, so that hopefully she could put something together for tomorrow's meeting. That's why we extended it to tomorrow. And then also leaving the 1.5 million in the 105.
Mandy, did you catch that? So the 1.5 million that we took out of the 105 account, we're gonna put it back into the 105 account.
So pull more from beginning fund balance.
Okay. I have an updated spreadsheet.
We do have to do this open record hearing now, though. We can keep
Okay.
going maybe at the end. But Mandy, are you presenting on this hearing?
I suppose so.
Okay, you have your funds and the amounts?
Yes.
Okay. All righty, ready? Everybody good?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Are we-
Good afternoon. It is Tuesday, December 30th, 2:01 PM, and we are here for an open record public hearing to consider year-end budget extensions. To give us a overview of the budgets with their extended amounts, we have Mandy Kim from the accounting department.
So we published, I'll go through each fund one at a time. We published each year an extension needed of 11,000, which we need at that amount, no changes. INET, we published at 200,000. We only need 170,000. Fairgrounds, we published at 200,000, but it's technically part of current expense, so we don't really need it. Auditor O&M, we published at 50,000.
Okay, just Mandy, I gotta write this down if we're doing changes, because. Okay, so,
We only need
107, the E-share is 11,000, INET,
170.
170.
okay,
Fairgrounds, you can either publish as is or 0 because it gets hidden, it rolls up. Auditor O&M, we published 50,000, but we only need 20,000. Oops. REIT. We published REIT at 800,000.
I have 1,381,000.
Oh, there's 2 REITs, I'm sorry. They're rolled together,
Okay.
first quarter and second quarter for, how much do you have?
$1,381,220. 126 and 132 added together.
That's not the amount
Um,
that I have.
wait. I will print another one for you. There it goes. I might have to have Kevin print, you guys better like it, not you.
Okay, I guess it was combined, or you can flip it over.
What are your numbers for
I-
126?
I think maybe there's a REIT thing that we didn't do or transfer or something because I don't see that we need it after all, but there shouldn't be anything short.
It was on the agenda for this week. It was published at 1,381,220. That was the public.
So I
I
feel,
know.
should we leave it just in case?
Yeah, let's just leave that one. Trial court, we did 120,000,
Okay.
but, oh, sorry. Did you say something?
Go ahead.
But we only need 105,000. Dispute resolution, 3,000, no change. Opioid settlement, no change.
Just a minute, opioid settlement.
I don't have that one on this list.
No, the next one in line would be the morgue for 8 million.
Oh, that resolution was already done. That's why we didn't need to do the
Oh,
extension.
really?
We already did it, yes,
Okay.
yes, I'm sorry, yeah. And then vessel registration was 100,000,
Okay.
but we should just leave it.
Okay.
No change.
.503 insurance.
Yes, that can be less. 2.7 million. More construction as is. And pits and queries as is.
And then we have the 190 grant admin for 135,000.
Yes, as is.
And then the Blake.
I think we,
92 is 11,000. Is that the
I think we did Blake. Hold on.
opioid? Okay, that was their.
No, they're not. Yeah, Blake is at 10.
11,000?
Okay, 11,000.
Wait, hold on, I'm sorry.
The 192 Blake.
192 Blake is at 11,000.
Okay.
Yeah, that's the same.
Okay, so the only changes are on 109 for 170, 124 for 20,000, 127 for 105,000, 503 for 2.7 million are the only changes.
I think, yeah, they don't need that much, but there's some transfers and stuff I haven't done. And then lastly, though, we didn't publish for jail construction, but it looks like we are over by 6.8 million.
But we've not added on, so.
Well, I'm thinking maybe because there could be eliminated transfer activity, there could be a payment late in December that maybe we could count. I don't know. Because it's not published, do you want to approve a budget extension for that one? Or
No, if we have not published it, we cannot do a budget extension for it, so we'll have to hold that payment until January, right?
if there is one to hold,
Okay.
yeah. But that was the only one.
Because we can't end the year in a negative. Will that account be in the negative then?
No, it's not in the negative. It was just, we estimated 80 million for the beginning of the year. It was 86 million.
Okay, because I believe we have to advertise, and if we don't advertise, I don't know what's worse.
It's either way is a hit. It doesn't matter. Nothing.
Well, I would rather be transparent. If we didn't advertise, I'd rather take a hit on being over than doing something that was not advertised and the public notified.
This is a very well-known project, a very costly project. I think we've been very transparent in the progress of it. I don't think there's any worry that.
What are you talking about now?
It's the total amount expended for
The jail.
313.
Should have been 80 million, it's 86.8.
I only budgeted 80 million.
We are currently at 80. I just looked it up.
See, and there might be something in here that needs to be eliminated.
Okay. Well, other commissioners, what are your thoughts on this? And it could be something that was counted twice. I'm just reluctant to a budget extension if we haven't notified the public.
I don't disagree, but it should have been on here.
Maybe, I haven't verified it. I ran this morning as a final.
As of my numbers, what we have expended on the jail project through December 9th is 83,065,589.26.
That still's over.
As of 12/9.
Does any of your construction projects go to 133, or?
Well, if they go to a different one, so if they go to a different.
If they're supposed to be out of another fund?
We have a lot of projects that are done through REIT 1 and REIT 2, which I was going to ask the question earlier. I don't understand how a REIT fund can be.
Because we have to budget for an amount for it.
No, I get that, but I don't know how a REIT can require a budget extension without somebody going to the commissioners first and saying, oh, I've got this project, this park I built is over what we budgeted.
It's probably just timing of projects.
I haven't gone over on my projects.
You might be fine then. So it could be something that's just entered in, should have been tagged on a different.
The only thing that might.
Roundabout.
Well, no, that was all paid for out of jail funds. The only thing that might be weird is the bleacher project. That was paid out of 132, but it's getting reimbursed. That's that 250,000.
We would have had to you have to have a budget to spend.
Yeah, I had a budget to spend and we did not go over, and we're getting reimbursed that entire amount.
Oh, I know why. Because I only budgeted Daryl's revenues, not the fund balance that part of the projects. That was why REIT was over.
Okay.
Yes. I remember that. It was the fund balance part.
But I'm not sure what's going on with the jail. We can account for every penny in the jail project.
Yeah, I need to
If we're still over,
dive into
okay.
it. So let me take a look-a-roo. Your calculation is based on the checks processed or invoice
Every payment made.
in totality?
Yeah.
You didn't make any in 2024?
No, so that's the cumulative total that we have spent out of the bond proceeds. I can tell you exactly what we spent in 2024.
I think we're gonna be just fine.
Hold on. Let me get back to my spreadsheet. Our total spend okay, so so it's cumulative. In 2024, the total spend was, I'm gonna back up. In 2020, we spent $30,085.80. The cumulative total going to 2021 was $69,463.83. And then in 22, the cumulative total was $1,298,666.62. 23, $1,196,594.48, and then we start the jump. Total for 24, including those other ones, $41,679,732.86. And then 2025, the cumulative total is, I wish I brought my laptop, $83,065,589.26. I'll tell you what I'm going to do is I'm just going to email this to you. I will email it to everybody.
It looks like we did 3 payments to Leidig that were 16 million since October.
No, that's entirely possible.
So Mandy, what would be the easiest fix then?
Just nothing. I wouldn't do anything. It's just we're over. If we're over, we're over.
Okay.
It'll be disclosed in our notes.
I would feel better about it than deceiving the public on an accident. Okay. Well, I know we're not, but you kind of take the lesser of 2 evils and, okay.
Well, because at this point, we're not even 100% sure that we are over. So, but like I said, all our overages get disclosed in our notes every year.
Well, we had several accounts in the commissioner's office, so we've been down this route before. It's not like it's a first. I don't have any more questions. I guess we open it for the public comment.
Do you have all the info you need for the motions that will follow? Or do you need any more before I do public comment and then roll right through?
I don't. I'm good.
Okay. So then, we will now open up the public comment portion of this hearing. Since there's no more discussion, we have any members of the public here? No. And we only have one call-in user.
Carrie does not have any public comment.
All right, then I'll entertain a motion to close the public comment portion of this hearing.
Mr. Chair, I move that we close the public comment portion of this hearing.
I'll second that. Motion and a second. Any discussion? Hearing none. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes.
Mr. Chair, I move that we approve the budget extensions as listed, but changing account number 109 INET from 200,000 to 170. Account number 124 auditors O&M from 50,000 down to 20,000. Number 27 trial court improvement from 120,000 down to 105,000. 503 insurance from 4,005,000 to 2.7 million. I don't have the grand total of those numbers.
$13,156,220.
Nice, Caitlin.
That, I'll second that. Motion and a second, any discussion? Just note that there are additional changes coming in the future. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion passes to approve the budget extensions as stated by Commissioner Carter. Thank you, this concludes our hearing. Are there any items we want to discuss for tomorrow's budget meeting?
I'll just let you know that the Excel spreadsheet I just sent you is accurate as of December 9th. That is every payment made against the bond proceeds for the jail project, considering it started, 2020. There's not as many payments as you would think, but you can see.
They were big.
They were big, but you can see every payment, every vendor, who it was, what it was for, just so you guys have it.
And the total's 83 million?
Yeah.
Then there's no way we're over. Then it must be something like either a payment that's in Tyler and GP.
Maybe.
That I just, because we weren't even close to being over when I did it last month.
Yeah, and the bills are getting smaller. I mean, the bulk of the project is complete, and, now we're seeing 3 million, 2 million, $1 million. They're gonna continue to get smaller.
I have a new spreadsheet for the budget that has all. So someone found it. I didn't even share it to Cora. It's in the folder, but I haven't shared it yet. If you'd like me to provide that and we can go through that.
Okay. Wait, is that yesterday at 2:21? Preliminary budget 2026?
I haven't sent this to anybody.
Okay,
It's-
yes, please share it. I'm gonna run. I'll be right back in 92 seconds.
How should she find it? She just
I could see it.
just going through my screenshots.
And that resolution does have the changes that were discussed during the.
Awesome, thank you, Caitlin.
Soy fish.
55 there. 80, 55 there. Oh, expenses. Shoot.
So are you sharing that spreadsheet?
Yeah, I have one little error that I wanted to fix before I sent it, but I'll figure it out after I'm done. After I send it.
And this is a new spreadsheet for the budget adoption tomorrow?
Yes. Obviously, not the travel changes, but.
And we're confident, I missed some of the meetings today, so we're still confident the number is like 3.6 or
3.9.
3.9 million.
There was an error I found last night in planning, but I talked to Jim today and sussed it out. He had funds for 170 in his planning budget. It was $250,000. So that had to be moved out and put into 170.
And then that took it to 3.9.
Yes. And I did get comments back from Brandon, but he didn't change any figures. He didn't change any numbers.
That doesn't surprise me.
But I increased, because we get reimbursed for half of his salary from the state, and it was last year's amount, so I increased it the 5% for the increase in July, only like $1,000, but although every penny counts.
Yes, it does. Did you send that or?
I am sending it
Okay.
now.
Because I'm like, I just get nervous when everybody's on it and I'm like, oh, I don't know where we're at.
No, I mean,
Where's our, yeah, everybody's hiding.
oops.
Is the Cora still on?
No, she signed off.
Oh, I guess I
Your quick addition there.
Okay, so in this spreadsheet, there is
Got it.
there's a summary that's similar to the preliminary one, and every number has a link to its individual budget. But there's also the green tab is everything in one spreadsheet.
So are you sending that to all of us?
He's got it.
Yes,
I'm glad you did, that I did.
You did?
Just an email.
maybe I just,
Oh, you didn't get it. I'll send it to you.
oh, sorry.
Kevin, apparently everybody got it but you.
He asked for it earlier too.
Well, you know,
There's one little error difference between 103 that I need to figure out really quick.
Well, this is literally like everybody's all wrapped up in one.
Yes.
Where was this? For the last 60 days. I'm like, oh my gosh, I cannot find this budget.
I had to create
We've
it.
literally been like looking for Easter eggs. This is glorious. Thank you.
I tried to update the 2025 actuals in the spreadsheet as well. So those should be fairly accurate to the numbers that I have today's. Oh, I think I found you. Oops.
This is like amazing.
Have you seen that
You can just click it and go
Kris
right
Jenner, that video? Oh my God. Isn't it amazing? I love it. That's how I feel right now.
So we're at 3.9 million, we'll put the for reserve account, beginning fund balance. We'll put the 1.5 million in it, so it'll kick it up to 5.4. 7709. Okay.
But you want me to move the 1.5 out?
Yeah.
Okay.
We'll put it, yeah. So it'll make our beginning fund balance increase.
So, that's actually a really easy change. And it should be reflected now in the summary CE tab.
We get my refresh button.
So now you just changed it to 5,437,709.
Yeah, because I removed the 1.5 million. But I think this should be an easy way to move all the travel.
Yeah, it's done. Okay. Mandy, thank you, thank you. I love the layout of this. Truly wish I just had it, full entire move.
Which tab are you on, Cindy? Which tab are you on?
The summary?
Yeah.
Well, but you can click it and then go, because sometimes I'm like, I need to go find the commissioner's budget, then I have to do this literal chase, go through my emails, try to find it, no, that's not the one, and then try to go back to where I was. See, Tom is on Superior Court.
Say, the links aren't working on my iPhone, man.
Oh,
Sorry.
You gotta click the, you gotta click it on the dollar amount, and it'll take you right there.
Oh, okay.
You're clicking the wrong. Hey, well, I don't have any other questions. Can you find it, Tom, when you click it?
No, I should have brought my laptop over. I didn't. know
So,
I was gonna
because
do
I'll
that.
show you what it looks like.
Yeah, well, I'm sure I'll see it as soon as I get back to my
Okay.
computer.
Because if you click it right here.
Yep.
And then you just click that, and then it takes you
Yeah.
right to it.
Doesn't work out right.
Sorry, Tom.
It's okay. My fault.
Just could have a lot of, you just don't have a beefy computer system like we do. Okay, I have no other questions for Mandy or Tom.
I have your travel number.
Okay, what's the travel number?
Oh, yeah. Did someone create something? Oh,
Hopefully I did not.
where'd it go? So the total requested travel for current expense is $94,775. So if I take that out and put it into a TBD fund,
That's the total for current expense
Mhm.
across the whole county.
Yeah.
Current expense.
if they budgeted it right, yeah, in for 300.
Seems very low,
Um,
because we were what, 30? Just our office?
Well, I think some of ours were seminars.
We have our split between travel and the
Seminars.
seminar schools and workshops.
oh yeah, so I only have 16,550 for you guys.
Let me go to commissioners and
And then again, so that's not renew, that's not That's not, New Hope, that's not, no, well, New Hope is current expense.
So if I added in things that were seminars, that might be local.
Well, no, actually, my question is, so you're just talking current expense. What about travel for Dell and Renew? And
We don't, that's not in our budget, so
Yeah.
so we,
so, yeah, so we'll have to be careful about who we subject to the policy.
So I only see BOCC, District Court, Superior Court, Auditor Office, Clerk's Office, Treasurer's Office, Assessor's Office, Elections, Prosecuting Attorney's Office, and Planning.
What about me?
Facilities and
Do you
maintenance.
have travel?
Yeah.
And then I think there's some travel.
Aren't you
in-
aren't you under BOCC though?
No.
No, central services.
And then what's Blair under?
I mean, I'm under BOCC, but my budget is split. My expense budget is still under the central services budget, but my payroll and stuff is under BOCC. I had, I think, 8,000 or 7,000.
So let me see. Under 112?
Central services?
Oh, 123.
The sheriff had 10,000.
Oh, okay, I
Okay,
see.
do the sheriffs do their travel up a different line now?
No,
Well,
I see
pretty
what
much they
happened.
take one of our vehicles. And
Well, when they go to Vegas and they take 4 people and it's 4,000 a person, I don't know how they stay under 10 grand.
Hold on, I must have had it filtered when I did my formula.
4,000 a person? You know, yeah.
so on one, they have EM travel 21,000.
Maybe that's what it is, emergency management, they're broken out like that.
Okay, hold on. I got a bigger number.
So, yeah.
Okay.
Well, Mandy, we can.
351,000.
Okay, that sounds more like it. Thank you.
There was a filter, and so my formula didn't go all the way down.
Yeah, I was like thinking, man,
351 even.
here I was thinking
No.
we're.
351,463.
That seems a lot more.
I just moved it around.
Are you wanting me to move it out?
Now, that's just current expense.
Yes.
Yes, move it out and put it in that new account. Please.
But now, are we still gonna, what's the requirement gonna be then for travel for like in-state? So let's say I cruise over to Clallam to get together with Todd and Sam Kim and a couple of county administrators to discuss budgets and public safety monies, things like that. It's all in-state travel. I have to bring that to you now to get that?
Yeah, because you won't have it in your budget, so you're gonna have to. But I don't believe it needs to go through consent agenda, it just needs to get approval of.
The chair.
Board of Eke is the one I can think of because they're in current expense. Their travel reimbursements for attending the meetings and stuff. That also is that the same process where like Tom signs it to approve it and it just gets paid out of that new fund now instead of the BOE's fund?
Yeah, because we'll be taking it out of that fund. I believe it's all for an expense. I
You
mean, I
could
think
make
this-
exclusions for departments.
You could make it.
That you know it's just the mileage for meetings.
Yeah, like LTAC and BOE and.
LTAC, I don't think it's mileage.
LTAC doesn't get, tourism gets, but they're not current expense, they're their own thing.
BOE,
I think it's
but BOE is a
BOE.
minor.
Yeah, it's pretty minimal.
Yeah, we just, if we adopt, once we adopt it that way, my suggestion is we immediately get a policy revision out so that people understand, because it's a pretty significant policy shift.
It's a big one. Well, I think we're just trying to I don't think
Due to
anybody was,
budget, not to any other reason.
Yeah, no, true,
we're not
yeah.
trying to micromanage, we're just trying to, and
No,
I
no
think some are
disagreement.
really good and others are.
Yeah, no disagreement from me
You can
whatsoever.
take
I just,
a
I
class
know people are
online.
gonna blow up
Yeah.
about it, so.
No, but if you can take a class online versus traveling 6 hours, I get that it's nicer to be there in person, but gotta look at, we can monitor this travel. That's a couple of positions, full-time employees. Or we can put it under the, maybe there's some funds that we can put it under instead of current expense, so I think we'll just look at each.
Yeah, because that's why I changed mine this year from last year a little bit, because I knew I was gonna do probably more in-state travel than I had in the past, since I'm getting together with other CAs.
If you could take a car from the sheriff's office, that would work best for us.
I take the maintenance minivan.
Mini Roland.
I think it gets good mileage. Surprising. When we took that to Cowlitz County, there's 3 of us. And we almost got there and back on one tank of gas.
Well, someday I need to get a minivan. I'll probably have to get one sooner because it's a little lower to the ground because I can't lift my leg up all the way. I'm like, oh, let me roll out. I'll be getting a couple lap dogs here pretty soon and I'm just gonna.
So I have your new travel fund in a separate tab. If you want to put other certain departments back, that's easy enough. But yeah, that should be good.
Okay. Get going on that policy. Thank you, Mandy, for doing that.
Of course. Interesting. Now you can see the trend of the travel for the last 3 years.
It's really picked up on that last year, the year before.
It's kind of ebbed and flows. It was really high in 23. But they seem to overshoot it, budget a lot higher than they ended up doing.
Really? I think it's their selection count.
Maybe.
Just depends. It's always budgeted a little bit high because you never know. I mean, especially when you're booking airfare, those prices change all the time, so.
Okay, 1 o'clock tomorrow. Is there anything else we need here?
I don't think so.
Okay.
I'll be here at 1.
I've heard from everyone. Are we good on that front, or is there anything else?
I think we're good. We just wanted to get some of those numbers. And we weren't gonna see you until after this, so we.
Okay.
I'll call in for it. I'll be in Spokane.
All right, well then we will go into recess until tomorrow at 1 p.m.